What's going on, everybody? Live on Points. So that's going to be my kind of interim name. I haven't decided what a good name for this live stream is, but we need to name it something because every time I come on here, I'm saying different things. So Live on Points, that is what we're going to have for right now. And as you guys come in, and I'll announce this in a little bit, but I'm looking for a name. I'm looking for a good name for a live stream that we can use. So every time I come on, I could use the same name as opposed to just saying different things. So we're on live right now. Hopefully everything is working properly. I came in earlier, and I'll tell you a little story, but I came in earlier. I don't know what was going on, but I was having some issues with, I had a few different live streams set up, and so I need to figure out exactly how to work offline before I go online, because I tried to go online and I went online and it wasn't the right live stream that I was on live. What's going on, Jeremy? As you guys come in the room, just let me know you're here just by saying hello, or just give me a thumbs up in the chat, just so I know who you are and I can give you a shout out, and then we'll get started momentarily. I was going to do an interview today with a young lady from Colombia. I was going to do that early and then do the regular travel credit card live stream, but she had some issues with her car, so we're going to go ahead and do that tomorrow. So tomorrow, and I'm going to keep promoting this all day today, but tomorrow we're going to be doing a live stream. This is a Colombian woman. She's going to be able to give us a lot of information when it comes to travel to Colombia, travel to South America, things that you might be interested in knowing about as far as let's say you're single and you want to go to South America because, you know, there are beautiful women out there and you want to meet someone, or how do you approach women, that kind of stuff. So we're going to talk about that. Also, we're going to just talk about Colombia in general, the different things that you might not know that might entice you more to go to Colombia. And like I said, I talk about Colombia only because I've been there several times, and every trip that I've gone to Colombia, I've really loved it. And it's kind of a hidden gem for a lot of people. They're not comfortable going to Colombia. Maybe this will help you out and maybe get you to a point where you'll be a little more receptive to going to Colombia. So I don't know. I really like the country, so that's why I like to promote it. So we're gonna have someone on tomorrow talking about that, and then we'll do our regular live stream on Monday as well, where we talk about some different stuff for when it comes to travel, just affordable travel. Now, what I'm doing right now, and like I said, as you guys come in here, I see we have about 10 people in here. Just first off, give the video a like. That way it'll promote it to more people, as well as give me a like or a thumbs up in the chat, or just a hello in the chat, or hello where you're coming from, you know, where you are in the States, or in another country. So just give me that, just so I know, and I can give you guys a shout out in a minute. But what I'm going to do right now, and I mentioned this to David. What's going on, David? What's going on, Lionel? I mentioned this to David a couple days ago, or maybe it was yesterday, but I am going to be doing a video a day. Okay, so it's either going to be a live stream or a video, and I have some videos already set up, so I will be putting out every day. We're going to be getting a video on travel credit cards or something that's travel related. So I'm starting a marathon here. I'm just going to start doing these videos. So please support the videos. Watch the video, give the video a like, comment in the video. That way we can really get this ball rolling. What I want to do now is I just want to flood the market, flood the market with all my videos, and hopefully we can get. I mean, the viewership is great, okay, and the subscriber count is good, and the support is good. Everyone's supporting me, and people are really sharing my content, which I appreciate. But I just want to really put it out there, so to promote it to more people. I want to just bring more people in. I just see that the more people that are involved with this channel, the better off we all are, because we can help each other out. So that's what I want to do. And I think one thing about YouTube that I do know is if you put out, let's say, one video a week or two videos a week, usually you're not promoted in the sense that you're not on what they call the browser feature. So like when someone goes into YouTube, they will see, okay, active videos. And if you don't put enough videos out, you're not going to be in that active kind of feed, like when you open up your YouTube account. So I want to be in that active feed. The more I'm in that active feed, the more people see me, and they check out one of my videos and say, oh, you know what, he's pretty good, and then check out another one, and then they subscribe to the channel. So that is my ultimate goal. So that's what I'm going to be doing, just putting out videos. And I'll be doing this for as long as I possibly can. But the goal right now is 30 days. And then from that 30-day point, then I'll figure out what I'm going to do from there. So like I said, please just check the videos out and give the video a like, and also comment, even if it's just hello. Just all comments are good. Even if it's a bad comment, it's still good. Even if it's a comment that, how can I say it? I don't want to say bad comments are good, but just putting a comment in there is great, because it lets YouTube know that, hey, there's something going on. People are responding to this, whether it be positive or negative. And so that's pretty much what I want to do. That's where I want to go with it. And I want to get more people in live streams as well. So the more subscribers I have, the more people that are participating in the videos that I put out, the regular videos, then that will transcend, or that will bring it over to the live streams as well. Okay, so let me give some shout outs here. And like I said, guys, just hit the like button if you can, just to bring more people in, so they'll see that we're doing a live stream. I started a little late today. I guess I'll go over that right now. So, and I mentioned it already. I was going to have an interview, but that didn't pan out. And then I was going to start my regular video at 8 o'clock. And then I decided, okay, well, since I'm not having the interview, I'm going to push it. I'll bring it back to 7 o'clock. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't figure it out because it was already a planned event. I tried to cancel it, and it didn't do it the right way. And so, yeah. That's all stuff you guys don't need to know about it, but I just wanted to kind of share that. That's why we're on a little bit later than the 7 o'clock. Okay, let's see. Giovanni, what's going on? And who is HDTV? What is it? Castor? I can't pronounce your name, buddy, so I'm just gonna call you HDTV. Andre, what's going on, buddy? What's going on? WhatsApp group. And we already said what's up to Lionel. And D. Anderson, what's going on? Okay, so what we're talking about today, we're going to be talking about American Express, Chase. You know, when I come on now with my live streams, those are the two major players, and we all know, right? So when we do live streams on Saturday, we're pretty much talking about the same thing. We're talking about Chase, we're talking about American Express. So I'll always have those in the title, just so people know, okay, yeah, this is the focus. But I also do want to talk about Citi, because I think Citi, I don't know what's going on with the recent revamping, I guess you could say, in a negative way, just pretty much gutting their program. So I want to talk about that, and that's what we'll lead with. We'll lead with that, and then I want to get your comment, how you guys feel about it, because I think it's a disaster for Citi, and I'm just hoping it doesn't kind of filter into or contaminate some of the Citi, or contaminate American Express and Chase. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen, but most of us already kind of know about this whole thing, so it's not like it shouldn't be a surprise to most people. But we'll talk a little bit about that right now. Like I said, hit the like button again, please, if you have not done so already. I shouldn't say hit the like button again. Hit the like button if you haven't done so. If you've already hit the like button, don't do it again, because then it will just unlike. So you'll be from square one again. All right. Let's see. If we have any questions right now, we'll go over those, and then we'll talk a little bit about Citi. And like I said, I want your input on this as well, because I think it was a horrible decision, but maybe it was something that was out of their hands as far as Citi. Maybe it was a MasterCard thing. I don't know. Okay, see if there are any questions. I'm here learning more about, okay, Adrian, yeah. Well, we talk about credit cards, so you'll learn plenty about credit cards here. And you got to get set up for that next trip to Barranquilla in February. Hopefully you're going. Let's see. Greetings, respect. Hope all is well. Virginia Beach. Life for Business, what's going on? And laugh out loud, I use Citi, Chase, and Amex. Best of three worlds. Yeah. Okay, so, and Casey, what's going on? All right, so let's talk a little bit about the whole Citi thing. So we all know Citi, they're starting to pull back on some of their travel insurance. And some of this stuff, I mean, it's almost, I mean, you have a travel credit card, and one of the big things, one of the things I really like, and one of the things that I didn't learn right off when I first started getting into travel credit cards, is the fact that these travel credit cards, they have a lot of benefits that you can use when you travel. It's a travel credit card, right? But things that you don't really think about. So if I lose my bags, if I have a trip delay, if I'm in a situation where, God forbid, something happens to me in another country and I don't have medical insurance and it doesn't cover me, like I might have medical insurance in the U.S., but I don't have medical insurance in this country wherever I go. So do I have any type of coverage? Do I have any way of let's say I break my arm, is there any way that I can have something to help me, some type of insurance to help me? So things like that, rental car insurance, there's a variety of different things that these travel credit cards will allow you to have. Now, you need to read the fine print because they all don't give you the same benefits. Just like I was talking about the medical insurance stuff. Most credit cards aren't going to give you any type of medical insurance. However, like the Chase Sapphire Reserve, they will give you kind of a little like a, why don't I think it's stipend, but you have a little bit of money. You have, I think, up to $2,500 that you can use toward like a medical emergency. So if I do break my arm or something like that, as long as I'm not dealing with like doing these crazy excursions, it doesn't cover there. But let's just say I'm out on the street, I'm walking, and God forbid I get hit by a car or something like that. Well, I do have like $2,500 that I can use, and that's coming from Chase, Chase Sapphire Reserve. Some other credit cards might give you some different benefits. My advice when it comes to travel, and I have not done this in the past, this will be the first time I actually do it, my next trip out of the country, get travel insurance. Get the travel insurance with, this is outside, this is not a part of credit cards, but get like the medical insurance that you can get. Just do it, because it's like $45 for most people, and if you're younger, it's probably even less. And you never know. You could be in a situation where you need like I looked up some medical insurance, and the medical insurance I looked up, it's $45 or $47, something like that, for me, and it will cover me up to like $50,000 like medical expenses, which is great. So, and in a lot of situations, they just need to get you stabilized so they can evacuate you out of the country to a place where you do have insurance, whether that be where you live, or maybe somewhere closer, so they don't have to travel. You don't have to travel as far, but they have that evacuation insurance, and that's like, or evacuation, they'll insure that. That's like $250,000 worth of that. So you can get different benefits when you do the medical insurance, and it's worth it. A lot of times when you book your airfare, they will have it on there. Do you want travel insurance? And most people click no. But in the future, I will definitely be getting it. It's just not worth it. And I've heard stories of people that have been injured in another country, and the country, if your insurance is not going to work in that country, they want their money. So up front, they want their money. And if you don't have the money, then you could be in a situation where you're stuck and you can't leave. So, all right, let's see here. Okay, so just talking about the whole Citi thing, yeah, I don't know if it was out of their control, and I've heard some people say, well, it's MasterCard, it's not Citi, but that is a crazy move, because you have the Citi Prestige, and the way that I look at this is you could take it from some of the cards, some of the lower end cards. I can understand that you need to make cutbacks. That's fine. It makes sense. I think Citi did put out a letter, and basically said that they were really focusing on what people wanted what people were utilizing, what people were using with the cards, and some of the other stuff. That's why they got rid of like the travel insurance and stuff like that. Travel insurance is one of those things that you don't want to use it, right? You don't want to use it unless you have to use it. So yes, they were probably using the points more, and some of the other little benefits that they had, they were using those more. But you still always want to have that insurance. Like my auto insurance, I've knock on wood, I've never used my auto insurance, but I still have it just in case there's a situation where I need to use it, right? So to me, that didn't make a lot of sense in the letter that they put out. Like, we're focusing on what people want to use, or what people are using the most. Yeah, I mean, I want to have that. And that's one of those deals where if I had and I don't have the Citi Prestige card, but let's say I have the Chase Sapphire Reserve right now and I have the Citi Prestige. Let's say I have those two top tier cards. I like that fourth night free. Well, I like the old fourth night free. The new fourth night free, I mean, it's only twice a year, but before it was unlimited. Now it's twice a year. I guess it's still okay because it's still an extra benefit that you can have. But let's say I really like that benefit. That's why I have the Citi Prestige. And I'm looking at using one of the two cards to book my airfare. I'm using the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Why would I use a Citi Prestige when I'm not going to get the same travel protections? So, I mean, that's the way I look at it. So I don't know. Like, what do you guys think? What do you guys think the future? What's going to be the future with Citi? I mean, are they going to be pretty much done? Are people still jumping on board? If you guys in the chat, or if you guys are watching right now, if you do have a Citi card, are you planning on? I mean, I never recommend canceling any cards. Downgrading cards is the way to go if you want to avoid the annual fees and stuff. If it's a zero annual fee card, you just keep the card. What are you guys going to do? Are you guys going to stay with it with the Citi? I mean, like I said, it does have some perks. You do have some benefits with that card, and you'll still have those benefits. But when it goes to purchasing, when it goes to making purchases like airfare, stuff like that, you want to use that card that's going to give you that travel benefit, the travel insurance. So that's just my thing. Or you can do just like I said, I'm getting travel insurance now whenever I travel. Okay, and for the main reason, I don't want to have to rely on what my Chase Sapphire Reserve is giving me right now. I think it's $100,000 for evacuation, which is great. But if I can pay an extra $45 and get $250,000 plus get a $50,000 for medical insurance, I think that's a better. Well, I think that is a better deal, right? So I'd love to know what you guys think, though. So let's go ahead and start that discussion right now, and then we'll go over and answer some questions. Now, if you guys have credit cards that you want to review or want to look at, we'll do a couple of reviews today. So we'll be doing that as well. So if you have a credit card in mind that you've been travel credit cards, those are the ones that I really like to look at. Capital One will take its place and jump in that little third spot. I always look at Amex and Chase kind of at the same level, and then third is in my mind. Third has always been Citi, and then Capital One has been fourth. And Capital One has been making some gains since they now have transfer partners. It's just that transfer rate. I don't like the transfer rate that they give you. So 2 to 1.5, whatever. Yeah, it's 1 to 1. It should be. But all right. So hopefully everything is good. I'm looking at my stream and it's showing me that I'm getting very low input with the internet. So hopefully that can be resolved relatively quickly. Okay, let's see. Any questions? Let's move on down here. And yeah. Okay, so HDTV says Chase is the best. Yeah, and I will tell you, I am a Chase. I'm in the Chase ecosystem. Okay, I really like Chase. I've always liked Chase. Now I have not jumped into American Express yet. Once I start getting some of those cards, I can give you a better idea of how I feel about it. But I think we can both agree that Chase and American Express have good products. And I kind of liken them to Mercedes-Benz and BMW. They're kind of at the same level when it comes to luxury and what they offer. Okay, let's see. And also, too, when it comes to cards, travel credit cards, it's important to understand that you have travel credit card ecosystems, and then you have people or companies that will say that they have travel credit cards. For me, I look at ecosystems. So when I'm looking to get a travel credit card, I'm not looking at the Wells Fargo Propel card. I'm not looking at the Discover, travel card, whatever it's called. Bank of America has some travel cards. I'm not looking at those cards. I'm looking at set ecosystem. So I'm looking at Chase because Chase has a set ecosystem, a travel credit card ecosystem where you can not buy cards, you can get cards and then work out an ecosystem. I'm looking at American Express. They have a set ecosystem. When I say ecosystem, there are a variety of different cards. They have a travel portal, they have transfer partners, they have all that. That's what I'm looking for. Citi the same way, the thank you points, they have a set in place travel partners. Now Capital One has their travel partners. So they have set ecosystems. That's what I'm looking for. I made the mistake of thinking like all travel credit cards were kind of the same and you don't have these built-in ecosystems. And so people will jump out and they'll get, oh, I want to get the Discover card. I get more, I can earn more and all that. You get all those points and then you realize you don't really have anything besides the points. So you can use the points to book airfare, but you don't have any travel partners that you can transfer your points to hotels and stuff like that. So you're pretty much getting whatever the rate is. So if I look online and I want to book a flight to New York and the flight is $500, well, I'm going to use 50,000 points regardless. Whereas if I have a Chase account and I'm looking to book a flight to New York, I can look, if I want to do straight points, which I highly recommend not doing that, I can go to the travel portal, and the travel portal might give me a better deal. I can also look at going directly to United, transfer my points over to United, and getting an even better deal where I'm spending like 25,000 points instead of spending 50,000 points if I'm just going straight points. So that's what people need to understand when it comes to it. When it comes down to it, there's a difference, and I do have people that always say, "Oh yeah, my bank has this travel card. I want to get this travel card," and they get the travel card, and then they realize there's really no benefit in this card as far as rewards. They could have gotten a much better card that's with a set ecosystem. Even if you're doing a cashback card, you get a Chase Freedom card. It's a cashback card. You have really good earn possibility. They have the rotating categories, but if you don't use those points, I mean, you don't have to use those points just for cash back. You can get another card that's the Chase Sapphire Preferred, Chase Sapphire Reserve, and now I can transfer those points right up to the Chase Sapphire Preferred and use those points to travel. So you need to know the difference, okay? So they're not all cards are created equal. Okay, let's see. Let's go over some of these questions here. And okay. All right, let's find some of the questions. Okay, Life for Business, Life Out Loud. I use Citi, Chase, and Amex, best of three worlds. Yeah, and that's good. I mean, having a variety is always good, but I just want to be able to get the benefits out of the card. And I think you probably use Chase and Amex a little bit more than you use Citi. That's just what I'm thinking, just looking at. I don't know what cards you have, but I would think you probably use Citi a little bit more. Okay, Casey, I'm thinking of closing some of my Amex cards. They seem to be closing the gift card loophole. Yeah, I heard about that, the whole gift card loophole. I don't know about closing cards. I mean, Casey, it's totally up to you, but you have to kind of look at when it comes to, especially credit cards, if they give you a credit limit and you're closing that credit limit down, that might affect your credit in a negative way where your credit utilization will rise because the amount of credit that you have available has gone down. So just something to think about. I don't know if these are charge cards or credit cards, but I'm just saying something you might want to see if you have alternatives, maybe downgrading the card so you don't have to pay the annual fee. But yeah, I did hear about the loophole, how they're kind of doing away with it. And you just have to be careful. Like, you shouldn't be getting cards to try to figure out how you can cheat the system, or I can get gift cards, airline gift cards, and that will be, I can use that instead of paying, using it for the incidentals and all that. You really need to get cards and use them the right way. And if they have these little things, and you might say, okay, and some people justify, I'll just get the card. It's $100 incidental credit, but I'll just get gift cards. You shouldn't be thinking along those lines. You should be thinking along the lines, I'm going to get a different card that gives me better, gives me true travel credit, like a Chase Sapphire Reserve, or another card that gives me true travel credit, and I don't have to worry about trying to game the system in order to get the incidentals. Because what happens is you get all these cards, and then eventually the credit card companies will catch on. And with the internet now, I mean, all they need to do is watch a YouTube video where someone is talking specifically about that. And there have been plenty of YouTube videos that have been out there where people talk about how to game the system. And that's what happens. Credit card companies, they clamp down on it and they stop allowing you to do it. So yeah, I look long term. I'm not trying to just get a bunch of cards and churn all these cards. I'm looking long term. So I'm looking at cards and I'm trying to use the cards the right way, because I know in the long run I'll make out better than if I'm trying to kind of, I'll figure out how to do this by getting gift cards for here and getting gift cards for there. And then ultimately the worst case scenario is they just shut your account down, right? So, and you don't want that. I mean, let's say you have points built up, and then then the next day they're gone. So you've taken all that time to work out getting these points, and then the next day they're gone. So just something to think about. Let's see. D. Anderson says, glad I never applied for Citi. My ecosystem is U.S. Bank, NFCU, Amex Gold, Discover. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, and like I said, and it depends on what you want too. Like, and I guess I should have prefaced what I was talking about earlier when it came to, like, I specifically want travel credit cards. I don't want anything else. When it comes to other credit cards, I'm not interested in anything that's not gonna benefit my ecosystem. So if it doesn't benefit my ecosystem, I don't want it. And so you won't see me. I have a Discover card, but that was the first card that I got way back when I was in college, and I still have that card mainly because of the term, the time of that started my credit. So that time period, it's been a long time ago. But, I'm getting old now, but I still have that card, and that's the only reason that I have that card. I don't use it, but now it's just travel credit cards. That's the only thing that I want. I don't need credit cards for anything else. I don't need credit cards, period. The only reason I get credit cards, and this might be something interesting to people who are new to credit cards, are new to the travel credit cards. I don't get travel credit cards because I need travel credit cards, or I need credit cards, period. I don't get it because I don't have money. I get it because I do have money. And what I'm saying by that is I get these travel credit cards because I know I can use them in place of a debit card and earn points on stuff that I buy every day. That's the only reason that I get travel credit cards. That's the only reason I get credit cards, period. So it's not because I don't have the money, and it's not because, it's an emergency and I needed this $500, so I have this credit card that's my emergency credit card. No. I don't have emergency credit cards, okay? I have travel credit cards that I use for my everyday purchases, and that's it, okay? If it came down to a situation where I had an emergency, I have money in my savings, and that's what I would use for that. But other than that, no. I'm not using these cards for credit because I don't have money. I'm using them because I do have money, and I'm trying to maximize my point earnings. Okay, let's see. Where did we leave off here? Okay, I'm probably keeping the Amex Gold, but close the Platinum. So that's Casey saying that. All right, yeah. That Platinum gives you some benefit. Well, it depends. Like I said, it depends. Everyone is. I always think to myself, like, what would I do? Amex Gold is a great card to keep, definitely. And if you have to get rid of one of them, it also depends on what other cards you have too. So that's another thing. You might have the Centurion Lounge might not be a big deal to you. You might not have it at your local airport. You might not travel to places where you need it, or you might not travel enough to have an Amex Platinum. Amex Platinum is good for people who travel a lot. If you don't travel a lot, you're not really going to reap a lot of the benefits of that card. You're just going to be paying into it, and a lot of the benefits you're not going to use. So I totally get it. But in my mind, in the way I do things, I do like to travel as much as possible. So the Amex Platinum is definitely a card that I would like to keep. But if you can't keep them both, then yeah, I'd probably agree with you. I would get rid of the Amex Platinum and uh, and keep the Amex Gold. It just gives you more, especially if you're not traveling a lot. It gives you more earn possibility. Andre and Andrea, what's going on? What is going on? Let's see. Hey, Dave, we look forward to your live stream. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. For those of you who don't know, Andre and Andrea, they have a channel, a YouTube channel. So, and Andre, post a link for us. Please, I'll open it up so everyone can take a look at your channel and stop on over there and subscribe. So they have a channel, and you guys know I love Colombia. So I actually met Andre through a group that we both are a part of, a Colombia group. And he is an American. He moved to Colombia. He's living in Cali, Colombia. I think he's in the U.S. right now, but he'll be going right back. He's out there for about 4 or 5 months. Now he's in the U.S. and he's going to go back. But anyway, he met a girl in Colombia, or he met a girl in Colombia, fell in love, moved to Colombia. He's living in Colombia now with her, and they have a YouTube channel. And they just talk about their experience living in Colombia. And you're going to get the American point of view, which I think is great, as well as you will get the Colombian point of view, because his girlfriend's Colombian, and they're interracial as well. So that's another whole little interracial, different cultures. I mean, it's a great channel because you get to see all that on one channel, one video, what have you. You guys get what I'm saying. So anyway, yeah, post a link and I will open that up so everyone can see. But go over to his channel and check it out. It's a really good channel. And I'll be meeting up with him in October when I go out to Colombia. Let's see, Life for Business. I'm keeping my double cash card. Yeah, that's a good card. That double cash card is a good one. Like I said, I think mainly the biggest thing that I think the Citi Prestige card is the one that's really going to suffer the most. Because when people get to that level where they're spending $495 for a card, an annual fee of $495 for a card, they're probably pretty serious travelers. And so the fact that you're not getting this travel insurance and stuff like that, I think that card is going to be affected the most. Some of the other cards are lower level cards, people that don't travel that much and don't really even care about travel insurance, which you should, but they don't. And in some cases, you don't really care about it until you get your luggage is misplaced or something like that, and now you're like, whoa, okay, well, what what do I get out of this? Do I get any money, or what do I do? How do I get clothes? And so a lot of people don't even think about it until they're in that situation, and that by that time it's too late. So if you have the Citi Prestige card and you're using it, you're thinking everything is great. And well, you could still use it right now and everything is great because you still have the same travel protection. But let's say next year sometime you're using the card, you're not really thinking too much about it, and then stuff starts to go south, and then now you need the insurance and you don't have it. So yeah, but the lower end cards, they probably won't be affected that much. Most people, if you just want to earn points and maybe use those points for travel, and then use a different card for your travel protection and your travel insurance, well, you can do that. Or like I said, you can just outright just buy it. Okay. And maybe that's something cities should promote. I don't know. Maybe find a way to get some type of discount or credit people with just getting like a travel insurance, on some of these different travel insurance programs. I don't know. Maybe that could be an option. Give you like a credit. I think that would be good. Maybe because like I said, what was it, $45 or $47? Maybe have, since Citi is doing this, Citi Prestige, and maybe let's say if it's one of those deals where they realize, I'm hoping they realize this is a really bad move, and it's going to affect them. Maybe they can get to that situation where they give us some type of credit. Maybe, I don't know, I'm just talking off the top of my head, but have some type of a credit that you can use toward travel insurance. And you can just book your travel insurance through that. Maybe partner up with one of these different companies that offer the travel insurance, medical benefits, all that stuff. I don't know. Like I said, just something I'm thinking offhand, but the Citi Prestige card have that kind of a benefit there. And I think ultimately that card should still have it. And then if the rest of the cards don't have it, it's going to hurt them. But it's that Citi Prestige card is the one that I think will be most affected. Okay. All right, guys, if you guys are in here right now, please hit the like button so we can bring some more people in. It looks like we have about 34 people, so that's pretty good. But if you hit the like button, you'll bring even more people in because they'll be able to see that we're doing a live stream here. YouTube will promote that for us. Okay, let me switch my screen over too so you guys can see the chat with me. Let's see. All right, Casey. For Citi, they seem to like, let's see, for Citi, they seem like cards that you would earn points, and they downgrade them to double cash or divided 5% cash. Let's see. Okay, so in case basically just saying, so if I understand you correctly, you're saying that Citi, they tend to like cards where you can earn a lot of points with, and then downgrade them to double cash or. Yeah, I don't understand exactly what you're saying. The first part I think I understand. So that they have cards where you can earn a lot. So with the Citi Prestige card, you can earn really fast with 5 points for every dollar spent on some categories. So I totally get that. I've never really been a big fan. Like I had the Citi Premier card, and I made the mistake of canceling the card. I should have kept it, just downgraded it. To the double cash card, and maybe that's what you're saying. I don't know, but I should have downgraded the card that I had, but I ended up canceling it. This is the first card that I ever got. Travel credit cards. Had no idea what I was doing. Just got the card because looked at the points guy, and they were saying, "Yeah, this card's good. This card's good," and so I said, "Oh, I'll go with Citi. I have a Citi bank that's right nearby, so why not go with Citi, huh?" So I got that card. Got the points on it, 50,000 points. I ended up transferring the points out to one of the airlines, and this is another mistake that I made. And so for those of you who are new with points, never transfer your points unless you're booking a flight or you're booking a hotel. Leave those points where they are. Don't transfer them out. And what I did is I transferred the points to, at the time it was Virgin America, when Virgin America was still on its own and they weren't bought out before they were bought out by Alaska Airlines. I transferred the points over there. Why did I do that? I wasn't ready to book anything, but I just transferred them over there. But guess what? Once you transfer those points over to the airline, you can't transfer them back. And so not only did I transfer the points over there, I transferred 50,000 points. It turned into 25,000 points. So it wasn't one-to-one. And so that's another big mistake. So you want to try to transfer it the highest possible, right? In my mind, I'm thinking, oh, well, it's, and this is true. You didn't need to use as many points to fly on Virgin America as some of the other airline carriers. So it was like to fly to Denver, I'm just using an example, Denver, I could use like 14,000 points round trip as opposed to twice that much if I were to fly on a legacy carrier. So I made that mistake. I transferred those points over there, not knowing what I was doing, wasn't ready to book anything. And so now those points are stuck. I can't get them out. So if I wanted to use it for one of the other transfer partners, I'm done. So made that mistake. But I got saved because when I transferred the points over to Virgin America, they sat in that account for probably 8 months. And then at this point, I started learning more about travel credit cards because that was the first card I got. So then I started learning more, started getting different cards. And then Alaska bought Virgin America. And when they bought Virgin America, then they did this process of, I think at first they said, I don't even know what they did. I'm pretty sure they've done away with Virgin America. So at first they were talking about they were going to keep Virgin America the way it is. They just owned it, but they wanted to kind of keep the look and the feel and all that good stuff. But I think they just, now it's, I don't see Virgin America anywhere. So they don't do that anymore. So they were giving you an opportunity, if you had points with Virgin America, to transfer your points over to Alaska. And they were giving you a bonus for doing that. And so that bonus, when I transferred the points over, that bonus brought me back up to like, it was almost 50,000. So I was able to transfer the points back over and get about 50,000. So the 25,000 turned into close to 50,000. So that was good. And so I was able to kind of redeem myself. And then I kept them in Alaska, and then I booked a flight out, actually a flight back from Thailand. And Alaska, for those of you who don't know, if you have Alaska points, they're really good, really valuable. 50,000 points, you can get a business class flight one way, but you can get a business class flight. So definitely the value of those points is really good. Okay, and just so you know, Alaska, yes, Alaska flies in the U.S., but they have partners, so you can fly on some different airlines. I highly recommend flying on Hainan Air. If you're flying anywhere in Asia, if you can, I believe it's a Chinese airline. Customer service is excellent. They were ranked in Skytrax. They do a ranking every year of all the airlines. They were ranked 7th, so they're up there, top 10 definitely. And just so you know, they were ranked 7th. The best American, the best airline in the U.S. was JetBlue, and they were ranked 40th. So just to kind of give you a comparison. And most of us, I'll say I like flying JetBlue. I like their customer service. So that just shows you how good of a flight, or not good of a flight, how much better that Hainan Air is when it comes to the overall satisfaction if they're 7th. Okay. All right. Let's move on down here. Okay, so Mr. Alexander, what's going on? Let's see. What are the odds that Chase will continue to close cards with short notice? So let's see. What are you referring to, Mr. Alexander? Because I think I'm a little lost. So what are the odds Chase will continue to close cards with short notice? Yeah, elaborate just a little bit more. Mr. Alexander, Capital One Venture. So is that a card you want to review? I think that's what you're saying. So we can pull up that card. I think that's a great card, especially for a beginner. So we'll take a look at that in a minute. Let's see. Ibisha, what's going on? I got the Delta Gold with 60,000. Any thoughts? You know what? Delta, and just now that we're talking about the rankings and all that, Delta, so you had JetBlue ranked 40th, Delta ranked 41st, and that was the highest. As far as legacy carriers, Delta was on top. Then you had United was down in the rankings. It was probably like 68th, I think, and then American Airlines was like 71 or something like that. So Delta, by far, when it comes to the U.S. Airlines, Delta is the top when it comes to customer satisfaction. So I always, I have not flown on Delta in a very long time. I'm going to start revisiting the thought of getting some credit cards that are Delta, Delta related. So Delta branded cards, I guess you can say. But yeah, I think that's a good move. It's always good to have in your arsenal. It's always good to have at least 1, 2, maybe even 3. It depends on how much you travel. Let's start there. But have at least one airline branded card and make a commitment. So if it's Delta, it's Delta. My card right now is United, or my commitment right now is with United, and that's mainly because of the Chase ecosystem. But I have a United card right now, and making that commitment is great because now you have the PreCheck bags and the priority boarding. Those are things that are very important to me. So just by getting a airline branded card, you're going to get that. So that's, like I said, that's very important for me to be able to get on the plane early and not have to pay for bags and stuff like that. So yeah, Delta card, that's a good card. Okay, Lionel, Chase and United are fighting. I'm kind of concerned for the future. So what's going on right now with that? Because I haven't heard anything about that, Lionel. And yeah, I would be very concerned at the fact that I have a couple of their cards right now, and I have the whole Chase ecosystem. Now, I'm not. Let me just say this: I'm not completely enamored with United, flying on United. It works with my ecosystem. Okay, so United, I've had some good experiences, but I've also had some just experiences. And I'll say, flying to Thailand last year, I flew the United, the business class, the Polaris experience. It wasn't very. I'll put it this way: out of all the times that I've flown on business class, it was the worst experience, business class experience. And it's just the food wasn't very good. The customer service wasn't really there when it came down to, like, it was a 11-hour flight. They served us food as soon as we got on the plane, or as soon as we got up in the air, which is fine. And then they were gone. And when I say gone, they were MIA for a good 5 hours, 6 hours, actually longer than that. I didn't see, like, you'd see a flight attendant walk by, but like really quick. It wasn't like they were walking by looking to see if anyone needed anything. It was like they were going from one point to the next point, and they weren't, like, looking at anyone, no eye contact or anything. But it was probably 2 hours before we landed where we saw them again, and that was because they were going to serve another meal. But other than that, they were pretty much MIA, and they put out a little tray, a couple of trays, tray in the front and then a tray in the back where they had food, like snacks and stuff like that. So that was pretty much the way they did things. If you needed to throw trash away, you had to do it on your own. So that kind of stuff. I don't know. I've been on several flights, and I mean, I've been on United before, and it's been fine. But this flight, for whatever reason, just wasn't a good experience. And I happened to be flying on that Polaris flight. So I'm committed to United only because of the Chase ecosystem. Now, if Chase decided, okay, we're going to move and go with another airline as their major legacy carrier, let's say if they go with American, I hope they don't, but maybe if Delta, then I would probably switch over because my points would be able to transfer over. So we'll see what happens with that. But I haven't heard anything, Lionel. So if you could let us know a little bit more information, if you have more information, or if you can point me to an article, and I'll take a look at the article and then talk about it in the next live stream. Okay, Castro or HD. Is it Castro or Castrijan? Castrijan. Let's see. I got a high credit score under 524. What are other qualifications for the Chase Sapphire Reserve? Well, I honestly, I can't tell you exactly what they look for, but the two things that you've talked about, they're very, if you have a good credit score, I would say, to be safe, if you're around 720 to 750, you should be in that safe area. When I got the Chase Sapphire Reserve, I think I was at like 740 or something like that. And then they're going to look at how much money you make, and so they're going to look at that as well. And then the 524, yeah, they're going to look at that. But I don't know what other things that they look at, and I don't know as far as what income you have to have in order for you to qualify. But definitely you want to have a credit score of at least 720, and then the 524 too. You don't want to have any more than 5 account, or you don't want to have more than 4 accounts open within the last 24 months, and not hard pulls, but actual open accounts. Okay, so there's a difference. You can have hard pulls and not have the account open. Like, let's say you get denied, so they do a hard pull, they see you don't have the credit that they want, that they're looking for, and they deny you. Well, that hard pull is not going to count towards 524. Or let's say you have a credit card and you want to increase your credit limit. Some credit card companies will do a hard pull if you want to increase your credit limit. So that's a hard pull. That's not gonna affect your 524. It's not gonna add to it. So they're looking at new credit cards that have been open in the last 24 months. All right. Let's see. You should be good. Not guaranteeing, of course. Okay, so Lionel's saying that you should be good. Nothing is guaranteed, of course. Yeah. And they have their whole system of what they look at. Obviously, the computer algorithms figure out if you're doing it online, they're going to figure out who will get right out, right out of the gate. So who will automatically get approved, who will be in pending, and then who will not be approved. Okay, D. Anderson, U.S. Bank Altitude Reserve, Visa Infinite. Okay, so we'll look at, what did I say, the Venture card, and then we'll look at the U.S. Bank card as well. I think I looked at that card before. I'll pull that one up again now. Mr. Alexander, I heard they might refresh the Amex Green Card. You know what? I've heard that as well. We'll see. We'll see what happens with the Amex Green. Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. But they definitely, Amex Gold and Amex Platinum, I think that tandem is just an amazing tandem of cards. If you travel a lot, if you travel enough to get that Amex Platinum and you can get that Amex Gold and really maximize the earn with those cards, you're in a good situation. D. Anderson, I got, let's see, I get cards that fit me to keep, not open and close, etc. I keep up and grow my, yeah. So D. Anderson just said, yeah, and you should all, when it comes to travel credit cards, get the cards that work for you. Cards that work for me might not work for you. And so when we talk about, oh, this is the best card, and people, we kind of, like I tell you, right, yeah, Chase Sapphire Reserve, that's the best card to get. Well, it's the best card for me to get. Now, it might not be the best card for you to get, and it might not make sense for you to get that card. If you don't travel a lot, it doesn't make a lot of sense to get that card. Because it is what it is. If you can't utilize the priority pass, if you can't utilize the $300 travel credit, if you can't utilize the car rental insurance, the primary car rental insurance, or if you travel enough, you're gonna come into situations where you're gonna have your luggage misplaced, or you're gonna have a flight delay, or you're gonna have all these different things. If you can't benefit and you don't travel, the Chase Sapphire Reserve is not a good card for you, because you're just getting a card paying a $450 annual fee, and you're rarely using any of the benefits. So for me, it works. For my ecosystem, it works. For flying on United, it works. So everything that I have set up is kind of set up around Chase, which is kind of scary now that I just said it. And I need to branch out more. Like, who else said that? Life for Business, or somebody said that. They have, I can't remember who said it. D. Anderson, I think. Yeah, it is kind of scary when you put it out there. Like, wow, I have everything kind of banking on Chase. If Chase goes down, or if they have some issues like Lionel was saying with United, well, now it's kind of breaking up my ecosystem. So it is good to kind of branch out. I always recommend, though, if you are considering going with Chase or getting some Chase credit cards, get those cards first, and then jump into American Express or Citi or Capital One. But always start with Chase because of the 524. So that's kind of, and I started with Chase because of, well, I shouldn't even say that. I didn't start with Chase. Like I said, I started with that Citi Premier card. That was the first card that I got. I didn't know anything, or actually that was before the 524 was like known. So got the Citi card. That was my first card, the Citi Premier card. And then I said, oh, Citi Premier, it's pretty good. And let me go with the Citi Advantage card. So I'll go and get the Citi Advantage card. And I made that commitment with American Airlines. And then from there, then I realized, okay, this Chase Sapphire Preferred is being taught, and this is before Chase Sapphire Reserve. So the Chase Sapphire Preferred is really being talked about as like the best card to get. And so then that's when I jumped into Chase. Got that card. 7 months later, Chase Sapphire Reserve was launched. And then at that point, I was all Chase at that point, because I got the Chase Sapphire Reserve, and then once I got that, then it's like, okay, let me see what other Chase cards I can get. And then from that point, I started looking at the business cards. And the best thing that you can do if you have a business, if you make money outside of your normal job doing anything, you can qualify for a sole proprietorship, and you can apply for the Chase Ink cards. These Chase Ink cards, I'm telling you, are the best thing out there because the earn possibility on those cards are really good for most of the cards, as well as the sign-up bonuses are amazing. I just got the Chase Ink Business Cash card, 50,000 sign-up bonus. This is a zero annual fee card, 50,000 sign-up bonus, and You get some real good earn possibility with the card. I have to go over that card as well. So we'll do the Venture card, we'll do the U.S. Bank card, and then I will go over that Chase card, the Chase Ink Cash card, because that card is an amazing card to consider. If you have, like I said, if you have a business, if you do YouTube videos, you sell on eBay, or you've sold on eBay, maybe you sell it once in a while every year. Because what they're going on, if you're a sole proprietor, they're going to look at how much money you make in your job. You can use your social security number, so they're going to check your credit, but you still can apply in certain situations. You'll get approved. Like I have 4 business cards. Now I do have a photography business that I do on the side, but I have a regular job, and I signed it off as a sole proprietor. I also do YouTube videos, which you guys know, so that's a part of my. There's a business there as well, but the photography business is what I apply for when I do the sole proprietor, when I get the credit cards. So I'm telling you, they're sweet spots. And then so I talked about the cash card. You also have the unlimited. So you have the Chase Ink Unlimited card. Chase Ink Unlimited card. That is another 50,000 sign up bonus for that card, and you get unlimited. So it's 1.5% back on all purchases. So it's the identical card as the Chase Freedom Unlimited. Although the Chase Freedom Unlimited now they've done that they're doing the promotion, where if you're new and you get that card, you can have it for 1 year and you get 3 points for every dollar spent. But the old card, the old Chase Freedom Unlimited card, where it's 1.5, that's what the Chase Ink Unlimited is like. And then they have the Chase Ink Preferred card, and that card is like the Chase Sapphire Preferred card. However, the Chase Ink Preferred gives you better earn possibility. You're getting 3 points. I have to look. I can't think offhand because I have the Chase Ink Business Plus card, which they don't offer anymore. And I'm keeping that card because I get 5 points for every dollar spent for internet and cable and something else. Internet, cable, phone, and then I get like five points for every dollar spent at office supply stores. So it's a real good card for earning for like business expenses like that. So anyway, yeah, I'll get off that because I can talk about that forever. But I'm just saying, a real good way to go about it if you are in the Chase ecosystem, and let's say you have the Chase Sapphire Preferred, the Chase Sapphire Reserve, and then you have the Chase Freedom cards, is to start looking into some of those business cards if you can be approved for those. Okay. World Walker, what's going on, buddy? Bruce Law, what's going on? Ebony Love, how you doing? MG Toe, what's up? Is Amex even worth it? A high annual fee, high minimum spend, and difficult to obtain travel cards or travel credits. I think I'm better off avoiding their ecosystem. Now, MG Toe, I think Amex has a good ecosystem. It's just you have to travel. If you don't travel a lot, yeah, you're not gonna reap a lot of the benefits. Even people are talking about the whole incidental, the travel credit now because it was for incidentals, and now if they change that, well, then it's going to hurt a lot of people. I'm not going to be able to buy these gift cards, or they're not changing anything. People were able to buy gift cards and use those gift cards for flights, and they're clamping down on that. But even if you travel a lot or travel enough, incidentals, if I travel 3-4 times per year, and let's say I have my set airline, it's United, and this just happened to me when I was flying, when I took the trip to Hawaii. I just got back from Hawaii. So I booked it on United. I booked my airfare on United, but all my flights weren't on United. So I have the United card, the United Explorer Plus card, the business version. I get a free check bag when I'm flying on United. Now I was flying on United, and I was also flying on Hawaiian Air. So the flights on Hawaiian Air, guess what? They were going to charge me for the bag. So in my case, I had a carry-on, and I usually fly with carry-ons if I can. And in this situation, it was the right thing to do. Fly with a carry-on and a personal item. That way I don't have to worry about a checked bag. But I will tell you, it's a lot easier as far as just on you physically when you're traveling and you don't have to carry a carry-on piece of luggage and your personal item, because I had to pack everything in that small space. So I have a heavy carry-on bag as well as a heavy camera bag that had all my personal. It's actually a backpack. I wore a backpack this time. So incidentals would have worked out well there, right? Because I would have been able to check my luggage, and then when I flew on Hawaiian, I would have been able to use, check my luggage and use the incidental fees. So if you travel enough, you're going to use those anyway. So, and if it's $100 credit, it's still good, right? Or if it's a $200 incidental, it's still good. Actually, I think it's only $100 incidental anyway, but $100 incidental, I would use that if I fly. If you travel enough, you're going to use that. So for me, it's not that big of a deal if they start pulling back or they start clamping down. And like I said, when I'm looking at getting travel credit cards, I'm looking at all that stuff, and I'm not going on YouTube trying to say, justify, I can get the card because I can use this loophole or use this loophole. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for using the cards the way that they were designed. And if they do pull back on it, yes, that's one of those deals where that does hurt. Like if you have a credit card and they offer a certain, like the Citi Prestige card is a perfect example. That fourth night free, everyone was jumping on board and they were enjoying that and using it as many times as they could. And then now Citi pulls back on it. That does hurt. But and that's something that you can't plan for that. But you can avoid trying to jump into these different loopholes that they have out there. So if you could avoid those, that's kind of the way that I would work it. But I think American Express still has a really solid, the Amex Gold is an excellent card to get. And then if you travel enough, get that Amex Platinum and you're earning points and you're able to really, really maximize those. And the only drawback is if you're in other countries, you might have some pushback when it comes to using Amex cards because they're not accepted everywhere. However, have a backup, always have other cards. Like I'm not saying just have an Amex ecosystem. I'm saying have a Chase ecosystem and an Amex ecosystem, even a Citi or a Capital One ecosystem. So you have some different options. If you go to a restaurant and you can't use your American Express, you can use another card. As a matter of fact, in most situations, well, with the Amex Gold now, you get 4 points every dollar spent, so it does make sense. You do it worldwide now. But in most cases in the past, I would have been using the Chase Sapphire Reserve anyway. Okay. What else is out here? James, what's going on, buddy? Great to see you too, man. And James, just to let you know, this is a personal invitation. Tomorrow we're going to be talking with a woman from Colombia. We're going to be talking about Colombia. So she has agreed to come on the show. I was trying to get her on today, but she had some problems with her car. So tomorrow she'll be on, and we'll be just talking. It's going to be, I didn't even tell you guys the time. So it's going to be at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So 7 o'clock for you guys on the East Coast. And we'll be just talking about Colombia. She lives in Bogota right now, and she'll be here answering questions. She has a YouTube channel, so we'll be promoting that as well. Yeah, she's a really, I talked to her today. She's really down-to-earth, solid person, knows a lot about Colombia, and I've been living in Colombia her whole life. She spent 1 year in the U.S., so she speaks English fluently, and that's what I was looking for, because one of the things about Colombia is you can't find a lot of people who speak fluent English, but she speaks fluently. She was out here for a year doing, I don't know what they call that, where you watch people's kids. I don't know what they call it, but like when you have like foreign people, they come from people come from other countries, and they kind of do like, for usually it's like rich people, they have kids, and you kind of just watch their kids, take care of their kids. So she did that for a year, and then she got homesick, so she went back to Colombia. Okay, so anyway, tomorrow, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we'll be doing that interview. Okay, Malik, what's going on? Malik from Brooklyn. And Ebony Love from Michigan, what's up? Okay. Ever try to negotiate the cost of an Airbnb? I've heard if you contact owners at the last minute, they'd rather rent than stay vacant. You know what? I've never done that. I have heard of people, they might, get an Airbnb, and this is for more long-term stays. Like some people, and I have a few friends that have moved or they're travel the world. Like This Is Ace Live. He's got a YouTube channel as well. This is Ace Live. You got to check his channel. He's got a lot of good content. But he's been to Colombia. He's been to Mexico. He's now in Vietnam, and he just travels the world. And so I've heard of people, what they do is they will go to an Airbnb, stay there for a week, and then after that, then they try to negotiate. Hey, I'm staying here for a month. If you can work out a deal with me and lower that price, I can pay a month up front or what have you, and get a better deal. So I've heard of people doing that. I have heard of people offline, like, kind of contacting them offline and trying to see if they can work out a deal, not on Airbnb. So I've heard of different things like that. One of the things that you can do as well, MGTOW, is like you might go on some of these Facebook groups, and let's say it's a city where you want to travel to. One of the cities one of the places I like is Colombia, obviously. One of the cities is Medellin. So you can get on like expats in Medellin or expats in these different countries or different cities, and they will have information too about rentals. And so you can do it that way. If you're staying for a short period of time, it's going to be a little tough. Usually you're going to probably pay what they're offering. But if you can find a way to kind of get them offline, and when I say offline, like off Airbnb, then maybe you can work out a deal that way. But if you're doing it strictly through Airbnb, you're probably going to pay the same. Last minute stuff, I don't know how that really works. I've stayed in some Airbnbs, but I've never done like a last minute booking. So I don't know if you can work it down that way. I mean, it's worth a shot, right? All they can say is no. And it does make sense for them. If it's going to go vacant, it makes sense for them to rent it out to you. And I mean, it makes sense for them to do that. And Airbnb, I always go with like a super host, so someone who's established. Airbnbs can be a little tricky, especially if there's an event that's going on. Some of these people that are renting their places out, they might cancel you. And I'll just give you an example. And this did not happen to me personally, but it did happen to someone the last time we were in Carnival, or went to Carnival in Colombia. They booked their Airbnb way in advance. They had everything set up. They got it for a good rate. And then I think maybe it was 2 weeks prior to Carnival. And Carnival, obviously, so you have the largest Carnival in the world is in Brazil. The second largest is in Barranquilla, Colombia. So it's a big event. So what the Airbnb did is they waited until like 2 weeks prior to the event. They canceled this person's booking, so the person wasn't able to stay there. And then they opened it back up. And so when you open it back up 2 weeks prior to the event, guess what? The prices shoot up to I'm just giving an example, but from $100 to $300 or $400. So they did that to them. So that was just shady business. That's what I'm saying. Superhost, you want to go with Superhost because then you'll see their feedback, and you can kind of avoid it. Because obviously you do something like that, and if I'm that person that got canceled, I'm for sure sending that to Airbnb, and I'm going to try to find a way. I don't know if you can just make comments and stuff if you didn't stay there, but I'm going to try to find a way to get that information out there that they're doing some shady stuff. So, yeah, always go with Superhost. All right. What do you think about the U.S. Bank Altitude Reserve Card? That's Robert. Now, I know we did that one, and I didn't think very highly of that card. All right, we'll start opening up some cards, or we'll start opening up some stuff right now. Let's see. Oh, I lost my place here. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna go through these questions really quickly, and then we're gonna open up some cards, and we'll review some cards because I can be talking forever. Let's see. So let's see. D. Anderson, I have 6 cashback cards, 2 travel, NFCU, flagship, Visa Signature, Amex Gold, Delta, 50,000 Sky Miles. Now 64,000 Sky Miles with the referral approval, my coworker, and my usage. All right, you got a lot of points. Good job. Deshaun, what's going on, buddy? WhatsApp group, what's up, man? Let's see, best no annual fee travel cards. Mr. Alexander's asking that. God. Okay, so this is the thing, man. When it comes to travel cards, don't be afraid. Like, people jump on, oh, what's the best no annual fee card? What's the best no annual fee card for travel? And I'm going to tell you, there aren't any, okay? You need to pay to play. Let's put it that way. But you're going to get the money back, okay? So you're going to probably have to start at about, because when I say there aren't any, because when you look at it, if I'm paying a $95 annual fee, as long as I get that $95 every year back on that card, then it's a 0 annual fee card in my mind because I'm not paying anything out of pocket, right? Same thing goes for the $450 annual fee card or the $495 or the $550 annual fee card. As long as I get that value every year out of that card, then it's a 0 annual fee card to me. And that's the way that I look at it. But you do need to put in some money because you don't want to get, and I know this is pushed out a lot when it comes to, and like I was talking about, the whole ecosystem. So you have the Chase ecosystem. So you have cards that are built in with Chase. And then you have the American Express ecosystem, cards that are built in with American Express, and the Citi and the Capital One. So you have all these cards that are set up that way, and they're designed for travel. And some of them have 0 annual fee cards, okay? So you can get the Chase Freedom card, the Chase Freedom Unlimited card. They're 0 annual fee cards. They are not travel cards, though. They have cash back, so they're not travel. Now, if I can get a card to complement that, it's going to cost me money. It's going to be Chase Sapphire Preferred. It's going to be a $95 annual fee card, all right? That is a travel card. Now, if I have them and I have them together, so I have the Chase Freedom card and I have the Chase Sapphire Preferred card, that Chase Freedom card, the points that I get on that Chase Freedom card, I can transfer them up to the Chase Sapphire Preferred card. But when it comes to these 0 annual fee cards, you are going to see some banks that are going to promote rewards, great for travel, and 0 annual fee, and people are going to jump on those cards. But the only thing is, they have no ecosystem. There's no travel portals. There's no travel partners. So you're kind of stuck with those points, and basically they're just cashback points because you can book a flight, but you're just going to use those points for 1 cent per point, basically. So 50,000 points, you'll have $500 of value as far as what you can book. So just when it comes down to it, don't look at the annual fee. Look at what you can get out of that card, and if you can get $95, and another thing too, the way I think about things, how much money do I spend on travel every year? That's another thing that I think about, right? Because there came a time where when I first started getting travel credit cards, I was the same way, right? I wanted 0 annual fee, or okay, I'll do $95 annual fee, but I'm only gonna do that once or twice. Like, I'm not going to get too many cards with $95 annual fee because then I'm paying all these fees and you know. So that's the way I was thinking about it. When I got the Chase Sapphire Reserve, or prior to getting that Chase Sapphire Reserve $450 annual fee, I told myself I would never pay $450 for a card, for just to have the card, pay $450. I would never pay that for an annual fee. That's ridiculous. But then I started thinking, okay, I travel every year and I want to start traveling more. How much money do I spend on travel every year? Do I spend more than $450? And the answer was yes, I spend more than $450 on one trip, right? And so that's when I started thinking, okay, well, let's look at it this way. I get the Chase Sapphire Reserve. I get that $300 travel credit every year. Okay, so that $300 travel credit will go directly to airfare, hotel, whatever, right? So I'm getting that right out of the gate. And if I travel enough, 3, 4 times a year, I'm going to want to go to a lounge and hang out in a lounge, or I'm going to want to use that restaurant credit, which I put that video out about the restaurant credit when I was at LAX. Excellent program. That is the best part of Priority Pass by far. So, and basically, so what it is, you get $30 credit or $28. Well, actually, at PF Chang's, it was $30. It said it on the ticket. But I think some people say it's $28, whatever. But you get a $30 credit. So you go to the restaurant, PF Chang's, sit down, get that $30 credit, get whatever you want on the menu, including alcohol, for $30. I got 2 meals. Sat there, got 2 meals, ate one meal while I was there, and took a meal to go and had it on the plane. So 4 hours into my flight, I can pull out this PF Chang's and eat some PF Chang's. So stuff like that. So I started looking at that. Okay, so if I travel enough, let's just put a value on it. Let's say I use that restaurant credit. I'm just say the restaurant credit. I use that restaurant credit at least 4 times out of that whole year. Then you tack that value onto it. Was $120. Yeah, $120 there. So $120 value for that. $300 travel credit. And then there's some other little things that I can look, just the points that I'm earning with the card every year. Not the bonus, not the sign-up bonus, but the points that I earn just by using that card every year. I can factor that in. So there's so many different things you can factor in. So if you're using the card, it doesn't matter what that annual fee is, because I'm going to pay $450 regardless if I fly, if I travel. And so why do I care about the annual fee? Now, what they do is they'll give you these 0 annual fee cards. And when they give you the 0 annual fee card, guess what? You don't get any benefits. Like, you don't get anything that's worth it when it comes to travel. Like, a lot of the benefits are just, they're not worth it. They're gimmicks. So you wanna pay a little bit so you can get some of the, and like I was talking about, the different travel insurance benefits that you can get, the lost bags or the misplaced bags, the trip delay, and all. I mean, this stuff could save you a lot of money if you're in a bind. And I will tell you, your flight will be canceled. Your bags will be lost if you travel enough. Even if you don't, say you travel once a year, out of those, in 10 years, you might have that happen to you a few times where they lose your luggage and you're stranded. You're out in another country, and then it's always the best practice to have a backpack or have your personal item. Have at least a change of clothes in your personal item. I'll admit I don't always put a change of clothes in my personal item. And because I'm always focused on, I gotta have all my camera equipment and everything that I have, all the room needs to have all my camera equipment in there. But you should have something, you should have an alternative, like some extra clothes. But I'm just saying, these things can help you out in a bind. Or like I said, if you're in another country, you happen to have that Chase Sapphire Reserve card, yeah, it's a $450 annual fee. It's ridiculous, right? But I'm getting the benefits out of it. And if I happen to break my leg or arm or something, I have a little bit of money on the side that I can use, for that purpose, for the medical. So you don't get caught up on the annual fee. Don't get caught up on that annual fee. Just make sure you can get that value out of it. Now, I can get the value out of the Chase Sapphire Reserve. You might not be able to. You might not travel enough to. So it might not make any sense. I guess to answer your question, yes, there are no good 0 annual fee travel credit cards. There aren't. And if you guys think there is, put it in the chat. We'll pull that card up and we'll look at it. And I'll tell you the reasons why you probably should go with a card that gives you some type of an annual fee, because that's the way they're designed. The $95 annual fee, they're $95 annual fee for a reason, because they want to. The 0 annual fee cards, most people will jump on those cards and they'll just keep them. there's no reason. You just keep the card, right? So they're really not going to give you that much when it comes to benefits. But if you're paying an annual fee, you're going to tend to get some better benefits with that card. But there are some good zero annual fee cards out there, but they're going to be cashback cards. So what you want to do is you want to get those cards that have the built-in ecosystems on top of them. So, and I always use Chase. Like I said, Chase is that's the way I go about things. So if I do have that Chase Freedom, it's a zero annual fee card. I have these other cards that I can get as well that will help me use those points for travel if I want to do that. And that's what I do. I use points for travel. Some people don't want to travel and they want to use points for other things, for making purchases and things like that. You have a business, you want to use your points to purchase business-related stuff. I get it. I totally get it. But for me, it's all about travel. All right. So I hope I answered that in a way that that relates to most people. But I was the same way, Mr. Alexander. I was the same exact way. Zero annual fee. I wanted a zero annual fee card. And I remember before I even got into travel credit cards, when people would tell me that they would pay money for these cards, I'm thinking, why are you paying? You must have bad credit. That's what I would think. Like, why are you paying money for a credit card? You can get them for free. Why would you pay every year to have a credit card? It didn't make any sense. But you can get that value out of it. And if you're not getting the value, then that's when you need to downgrade that card to a zero annual fee card and then move on and get something that will give you the value that you're looking for. Okay, Ebony Love. Yes, I watched their channel. They are a beautiful couple. Cool. So Ebony Love. Yeah, she's talking about Andre and Andrea. Yeah, you got to check their channel out. It's a real good channel. Okay, what's going on, Hip? You didn't miss much, buddy. Or you missed a whole bunch. You need to come on. You need to get here at the right time. And Hip was, I had a conversation with Hip just a couple days ago, where he was just talking about how many points he has and he hasn't used any yet. Got to redeem those points. You don't want to hoard them. You want to use them as I won't say as soon as possible, but you want to use them. You don't want to hold on to them too long because the values continue to change. It's kind of like the stock market. The values are going to change. So if you wait, then you might miss some opportunities because the points can devalue, whatever. They can drop, right? And then you're kind of stuck. And so you want to use them as much as possible. Okay. Slade Surfer, what's going on, man? First time to the channel, or at least first time in the chat. Appreciate you stopping by. Do you use any airline cards? Yes, I do. I currently have the United Explorer business card, and I am looking at getting probably 2 more cards. The JetBlue card I want to get, and then I've been thinking about getting the Alaska card. I like flying on Alaska Airlines, so I'm considering getting that card. It's good to have, and I said this a little earlier, but it's good to have at least one airline branded card, mainly for the baggage fees, so that you can waive those, and then you get the priority boarding. But it's always good to have one where you kind of made a commitment with that airline. But you got to find the airline that you like. So all for the most part, the airline branded cards they're kind of designed the same, and realistically, it's not one of those cards that I would be using all the time for earning. Like I'd be using it at restaurants. Usually, you're going to get better value with other cards, but it's good for, like I said, it's good for the baggage fees, and it's good for the priority boarding, and then some other little benefits. If you happen to be on a plane, a lot of them will give you a percentage off if you make a purchase, something on the plane. But just looking at bags alone, this is another thing. Like people say, well, zero annual fee. I want a zero annual fee airline branded card. Well, if it doesn't give you bags, like free bags, then go with the $95 annual fee card. It's fine because usually they'll give you some little perks on top of it. The United card gives me like club passes, which I know it's not the greatest, the United Club Lounge, but I still have them. So I have Priority Pass. If they don't have Priority Pass, I still have another option, right? I get the free bags. So if I fly enough, 3-4 times a year, or if I'm flying with family members and we all have bags, that's when it steps up. That $25 for the bag, or even like in Hawaii, for whatever reasons, it was like Hawaiian Airline, they wanted $30 a bag and $40 for one flight. So you can avoid a lot of that by using by getting those cards. So yes, I can easily save $100 every year if I fly enough, and not even if I fly 2-3 times a year, and I get the free bags, then yeah, I'm making out with that. Okay, let's see. David saying go Delta, Marriott, Bonvoy, and Amex. All right. MG Toe, I've got the City Premier coming in a day now, taking advantage of the 60K sign-up bonus offer. After that, I got to wait until mid-January to qualify for Chase. We'll start with Chase Sapphire Reserve. Cool. So that's the MG Toe. So he's got that Premier card coming. That's good. Just don't downgrade the card, or I should say don't downgrade. Don't close that account. Obviously, keep that account open. You get 60,000 sign up. You'll be able to use it with your travel partners. Now, if you don't have any other cards, make sure when you travel, get that travel insurance, like additional travel insurance, so you don't have to fall in that category of some others where you, or you don't want to fall in that category if they lose your luggage and stuff like that. So you can get that insurance on your own. Okay, Maya, what's going on? Or is it Maya? Maya Coins. How you doing? Arlindo, what's going on? All right, let's see. James. Let's see. I will be meeting up with you in Colombia. Please let me know as soon as you find out what the dates. All right, cool, yeah. So that's in October, I think you're talking about, right? Because that's when I'm going. I just don't have the dates yet. HD chilling, what's going on, buddy? Discover points are basically worthless. Yeah, they're just not good for travel. If you want to purchase things and stuff with them, then they're fine. But I don't really see they don't have a set ecosystem with Discover. Let's see, Orlando, for hotel cards, Hilton Aspire can give you a free night certificate and fifth night free be used on the same booking. Oh, so you're asking me. You know what? I don't have a Hilton card, the Hilton Aspire card, so let me just kind of think. If you have a free night, and then that fifth night, yeah, I don't know how they would work that. It's probably not going to work. Yeah. I guess it depends on how many nights you're staying. Maybe if you're staying like 7 nights, you get a free night. You stay 6 or 5 nights on your own, then they give you the fifth night free. Like if you stay 5 nights that you're paying for. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that, Orlando. Sorry about that. Ron, what's going on? The Hilton Aspire free night can only be used on weekends. Okay. So, yeah, so that might answer your question right there. If you're going to stay, get the fifth night free, you can only use it for weekends. Yeah, you might run into some problems there. Mr. Alexander, let's see. It's just that I have heard a lot about Chase closing down people's credit cards recently. I want a Chase card, but don't want to risk being closed. Now, I have not heard that, Mr. Alexander. And if you're doing things the way you should be doing things with your credit cards, some people get into that mindset of, oh, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to try to cheat the system by doing this and cheat the system by doing that. And if they want, they can close your account. Or if you're not making your payments, obviously they can close your account. So there's certain things that you need to do. One is you need to pay your credit card off every month, completely off, right? Never carry a balance. That's one thing you need to do. If you're getting travel credit cards, the best advice I can give anyone that's interested in getting travel credit cards, pay your credit cards off every month, okay? I'm not a financial advisor, credit advisor, or anything like that, but I do know that these cards have interest, and I think we all know that these cards have interest. And the fact that you're getting these travel reward points and all that to use for travel is great. But the bad part about these cards is the interest rates are sky high, and if you don't make that payment every month, then you're going to be paying back. You're going to be just paying all the points that you're earning. You're just going to be giving it right back to the bank. So you want to make sure every month. My routine is every 2 weeks because I get paid every 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks I sit down, I look at the credit cards that I have, and I make the payments, and I pay them all off. And then the next 2 weeks I do the same thing, pay them all off. And so I never carry a balance on my cards. So if you're doing things the right way, you shouldn't have an issue with them closing your accounts. Understand this. Chase, just like any of the other credit card companies, they want to have as many customers as possible. So they're not in the business of closing accounts, because if you close everyone's account or close a lot of people's account, then you're not going to make money. Okay, so they're there to make money, right? So they're not going to close your account unless either you're not using the account at all, because they're not going to make money if you don't use the account, right? So if I'm not using the account at all, they're going to close my account. Or they could close my account. I'm not going to say they are, but they could close your account. Or if you're doing stuff that you shouldn't be doing, trying to jump through these different loopholes and doing manufactured spending where I'm getting all these, trying to figure out ways where I can pay or hit minimum spends by manufacturing money to spend. So if you're doing stuff like that, then yes, they can look into your account, they can close your account. But as long as you're doing things by the book, you should be okay, because they want you to be a customer. Now, some people will say, well, then they make interest too on you, so why should I be paying my credit card off in full, because now they're not making any money off of me? You don't want them to make money off you in that sense. When I say make money off of you, I mean you're paying your credit card every month, so yeah, they're not going to make any money on interest. But they're still making money. When you go to McDonald's and you use that card, McDonald's is paying a fee to Chase for that transaction, right? So they're making money on that. So that's why I mean they want to have customers, and the more customers the merrier, because the more people that are using their cards, the more fees that they're making from all these different businesses. And that's one of the reasons why American Express has some difficulties in other countries, and even in the U.S., is they have high fees for the merchant fees. So the different retailers and stuff like that, or the different different businesses, if you're using American Express, they're paying more out of pocket for these fees than like Visa and MasterCard. So that's why some places will just say, no, we're just not going to accept American Express, but we'll accept Visa, because their fees are a little bit lower. So yes, if you're doing things by the book, you should be okay. Just don't. There's a lot of information out there right now where people are trying to, oh yeah, we can do this, you can do that, and the problem with it, before it used to kind of be in these different forums where it was a little harder to kind of get into these different forums and find out. But now it's on YouTube, so everybody knows. So you find out a loophole and everybody knows about it. And so yeah, it's a different way of doing things now. And I remember, and I'll tell you this story real quick, but I remember I remember I was online when I got the Paris, the unbelievable hotel stay that I had when I went to Paris. And basically what happened is I had the points guy. I was on his. I would go to his blog every day, and I had him on my Twitter. And so it was like 3 a.m. one night, and I happened to be up, and I saw that he put out a tweet saying that I think there's a mistake in the hotel fare. It was like $29 a night for a stay at the Hyatt Regency in Étoile. In Paris. And so I got on Paris's website immediately, like right away, clicked on it, got on there, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, wow, it does say $29 a night. What is this? And so I booked 5 nights. Well, in hindsight, I should have probably booked 2 weeks, but I booked 5 nights, whatever. And this is my first trip. I'd never used points before. So this is the first trip that I ever booked. And I wasn't booking it with points. I was booking it with cash because it was only $29 a night. So I went ahead, I booked it, and they sent me the confirmation and everything. And so I went back to the points guy to look at the comments. So, he has a blog, and then I'll have comments below, and so people were commenting about it. And I remember this one comment, and this one comment blew up. All these other people just jumped on this one person. because people were saying, "Oh yeah, I looked on there and I booked 7 days and I booked this and I booked that." And everyone was booking these different stays at the Hyatt Regency. And so this one person gets on there and says, "Oh yeah, it is a mistake. I called Hyatt and confirmed it with them." And then after that, you just see all these people mad. Why would you do that? And this and this and that and that. And you just kept going down, down, down. And so they caught on, obviously, because someone called and, "Hey, yeah, is this a mistake?" And so they shut it down right after that. And so I guess the moral of the story is there's so much information out there, and these credit card companies, these airlines, these hotels, they're watching. And they're watching these videos. They're probably watching me right now. And they will find out, okay, yeah, well, this person's doing this and they shouldn't be doing this, or they're doing these little loopholes and all that stuff. So they're going to find out. And once they find out, they're going to shut it down. And if you are doing stuff that you shouldn't be doing, they might be able to figure out a way to find out. They'll look at, they'll see the trends out there, right? The trends that people are doing. And then they can check your account and see if you're doing the same trends. Are you going to these stores and getting all these gift cards or a certain kind of gift card or what have you to use to manufacture your spending or what have you? I'm just saying they're watching. And so you don't want to be in that situation where you get your stuff shut down because of that. It's really not worth it. Okay. Orlando, Ron, yes. Okay. Okay. We're gonna pull up an account or card right now. So what do we say? The venture card, right? So let's look at the venture card because I am taking way too long going through some of these questions. If you guys have a question specifically for me, just put at TEC. If not, I'm going to kind of skim through some of these other questions after we look at a card because I want to make sure we look at these cards first. Let's see. Am I not getting anything here? My internet is, or is this my computer that's frozen? Okay, here we go. Okay, so yeah, we'll look at the venture card. And the venture card, this is an excellent card for beginners. And I know I said that before. Did I put the video out yet? I don't think I put the video out yet. For those of you who know, everybody's in here right now, please hit the like button so we can bring some more people in. And I will be doing a marathon right now. So I started a couple of days ago. I actually started July 4th. And I'm doing a marathon, so we're having a video a day. So it's either going to be a live stream or it's going to be a regular video. Please stop by, support the video by watching it, give the video a like, and then comment down below. I don't care if you don't have questions to comment. Just say something. Say hello. Just give me a thumbs up in the comment section. All that activity is good for YouTube's algorithm. They like to see that people are engaging with the video. So not only watching the video, but liking the video or and putting a comment, that really helps people it helps to promote the video so more people can see it. And that's what I'm all about right now. I want to put out videos every day because I want to promote the channel more. And by promoting the channel, then obviously more people will come in on our live streams and join the channel, subscribe to the channel. So we're going to be doing for the next at least 30 days. I'm putting out a video every day. Okay, so until August 4th, every day you're going to see a video with my face on it. All right, so like I said, it's either going to be a live stream or it's going to be a regular video that talks about different topics. If you guys have topics in mind, the best way to let me know about that is either joining the WhatsApp group that I have going or the Facebook group that we have. So if you join the Facebook group, Travel Explore Click group, and just go to Facebook. It's right on down below here. You should be able to see. Just type that in the search and it'll take you right there. And then the WhatsApp group, what's the best way I can get that? I just need to get a link to send you guys. I'll put the link in the description. I actually need to get the link so I can have it. But I'll put it in the description of this video. So after this video is done, it'll be in that description box. Okay. Let's see, Venture Miles Rewards. I think this is the right one. All right, let me open this up so you guys can see what I'm looking at here. And taking a long time to load. All right, we can look at some of the questions here while we're loading this up. Okay. All right, so here's a Venture card. Now I looked at this site before, and for whatever reason, you see annual fee. It doesn't say that it's waived the first year, but then I looked at another site, and this is Capital One. I looked at another Capital One site, and it was showing that it was waived. I think it's still waived the first year, but you're going to have to make sure if you do apply for this card that you find out if it is waived or not. Let's see, Venture card. You can see it says right here. Let's see. Oh, that's a zero annual fee card. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Venture One is zero annual fee, but the Venture card. So it's just showing on here. It's not showing that it is. But like I said, I did look at, and it might have been through a different. They have like creditcards.com, and they have all these different places that have links that you can go through theirs. So just make sure you check that first, because I'm not able to confirm it right here. But the Venture card. So let's just talk a little bit about the Venture card before we look at this. So I think for beginners, the Venture card is a great card, okay? Because the main reason is the 2 points for every dollar spent on all purchases. So you don't have to think about which card I use when. And that's part of the problem or the difficulty when it comes to you start getting these travel credit cards, especially if you get a bunch. Then you're like, okay, well, which one gives me this credit? And some people have even gone to the point where they have it on their phone, or they write it down on a little notepad and they have it with them in their wallet. Like on the business card, they write down what cards get them the best earn possibility. When you've been doing it for a while, you just know, like I just know in my head, all right, I know what card I need to use. But the thing is, when you first start out, you're not going to be your mind's not going to be thinking about, okay, I can really maximize my points by using this card or using that card, or using this card over that card. So, Venture card, 2 points for every dollar spent across the board. You don't have to worry about it. And so there's nothing that you have to think about. And so that's what I really like about, for beginners, I think it's a great card. Now, $95 annual fee, like I said, you can find it for zero annual fee or have them waive it for the first year. So that's good too. So you can get the card, and like the Chase Sapphire Preferred now, they don't waive it. So they used to waive that $95 for the first year. I think the Chase Sapphire Preferred is another good card for beginners, but now that they're not waiving that $95 annual fee, it makes it a little less. It drops the value just a little bit when it comes to beginners, just because of that. So with this card, zero annual fee the first year, and so they'll waive it. And so that's good. You get in there and you get a feel for it for a year, and then after that, you can kind of figure out what your next game plan is. Like they're saying on here, if you want to downgrade the cards, you can downgrade it to the Capital One, the Venture One card, and that you don't have to pay an annual fee on that. So sign-up bonus on this card is 50,000 bonus miles, and that's after spending $3,000 within the first 3 months. Okay, so when it comes to minimum spends, you want to make sure you can hit that minimum spend, because you need to hit that sign-up bonus. The most important thing that you need to look at and think about when you're getting these cards is how much the sign-up bonus is, and can you hit the sign-up bonus? Because if you can't hit the sign-up bonus, it is not worth it to get any of these cards. I don't care what card it is. If you can't hit that sign-up bonus, it's not worth it to get the card. So make sure you can hit that sign-up bonus. And so what I tell people, there are a few different things you can do. You can wait a couple months, 2-3 months, or just wait a month to see how much money you spend in that month on things that don't include your mortgage and that don't include your rent or your car payment. Don't include those things. Are there ways that you can do that and like pay for it with that? Yes, you can use plastic, or you can use some of these other things, but they have fees that are attached to them. Even if that is that situation where, let's say it's a $5,000 you have to spend in 3 months, you want to hit that sign-up bonus, right? You have to hit that sign-up bonus. So let's say that you're at $5,000 and you don't think you can spend that $5,000, but you really want the card, and you've already looked in, done some research, and you found out that you can use plastic and you can use it to pay for some of these things, then that situation, yes, I would do it. Only to hit the sign-up bonus. Once you hit that sign-up bonus, stop using plastic or any of these other things, because you're just going to be giving money back. It's like, what, 2.5% fee that you have to pay to use those cards, or 2%, whatever it is. You're going to be giving money. You're going to be giving that money away. So you'll earn points, but then you're just going to be giving it back to the plastic or these other companies. So I would only do it to hit the sign-up bonus. So it's very important to hit the sign-up bonus. So this case, 50,000 for sign-up, that's really good, okay? And that's equivalent to one, if you're getting the very minimum value on that, it's 1 cent per point, which is $500. Okay, so $500 value. The good thing about venture, another good thing for beginners, if you are a little frustrated with the points, and you might get to that, you will, when you start out, you are going to get frustrated with points. I will tell you that. Points are very, it's very good to use points, but it's also very frustrating, because you have to figure out, you have to tweak things around and figure out how you can use these points. And I think a lot of people get points, and like Kip was saying, he's got all these points that he's earned, and he hasn't used any of them yet, and he doesn't know how to do it, or whatever. I think he said he didn't know how to do it. It can be a little overwhelming, a little frustrating. But once you learn how to do it, and it's going to take you a little time, but once you learn how to use points, then you're gonna love it. So there's that learning curve. With the venture card, the good thing about the venture card is you have the eraser tool. So you don't have to necessarily use the points, use it as points. You can use it as just making a regular, just booking your airfare and going that route. So you do have that option, and then just erase it from your credit. So you use your credit card to make a book, or to book something, and they erase it. The good thing, even for people who, let's say you're thinking, well, if I get the venture card for a beginner, but then at 3 years down the road, I have all these other cards, and I'll be using those cards, so I won't need to use the venture card anymore. Well, that eraser tool is good not just for booking airfare, but it's good for other things that could be travel related. Let's say you want to do a helicopter ride. You're in Hawaii, you want to do a helicopter ride, and you have some points on your venture card. Well, I can't use normal points, like my Chase points, to fly on a helicopter, but I can use the eraser tool to pay for that. So just things to think about when it comes to that. All right, let's see, other things. Now, 10 times points, that's at hotels.com, right? That is and this is until January 2020, so you have a little bit more time to use this. Huge benefit. I'm not a big fan of hotels.com. Well, I had a bad experience, right? And I'm not even going to go over the experience. I've talked about it in previous videos, but basically, I like to book directly with hotels, right? With the hotel, not hotels.com. So that's just the way that I like doing things. You just have more flexibility. There are different things that you can do. You can cancel a lot easier, and you can make changes a lot easier. Hotels.com in some situations, and the last situation that I had with hotels.com, I wasn't able to make a change to my reservation. I could cancel the reservation, but I wasn't able to make a change without having to pay for the rate that the hotel was going for on that date. So, and I will talk about it just so you guys know kind of how it worked. So basically, I booked a room. It was $100 a night, and this is an example. $100 a night, and then 2 weeks prior to me going I was going to Colombia. 2 weeks prior to me going to Colombia, I wanted to change the booking, and instead of stay 7 days, I wanted to stay 4 days there and then go off to another place and stay some time there. So I had the booking with hotels.com, and I tried to make the change, but what happened is when I made the change, they told me, okay, instead of $100 a night, your rate has gone up to $189 a night. And so basically, I was only going to, if I kept the room the way it was booked, it would have been like $800. If I made the change, it was going to be like $740. So I would have saved like $60 on making that change, and it would have been 4 days instead of 7 days. 7 days would have been $800. 4 days would have been $740. So I canceled the reservation, and then just had to book somewhere else. But when you're booking directly with a hotel, I wouldn't have had that problem. I booked with Hilton. I mean, this was with Hilton through hotels.com. If I would have gone directly with Hilton, guess what? I could have made that change, no problem. They would have had any issues with it. That I have issues with that. And then they took my money right away. Like when I booked it, my money was out of my account. So they didn't wait. Like if you book with a hotel, they're going to wait until you actually stay, and then you're done. You know, you leave, and then they charge it. But in this case, they charge it right up front. So that's my story, right, with hotels.com. But if you're fine with that and you're set, like you have your dates, your date is set, and you want to book hotels.com, 10 points for every dollar spent. That's amazing value. And then on top of that, hotels.com has their own little rewards program, right? So you get for every 10 stays, you get a free stay. So, and I think that's equivalent to like 10 points per dollar or something like that, they figure. So you get another 10 points per dollar just through their program. So if you're using them religiously, then you'll be able to reap some benefits from that. So hotels.com, that's good. So now you have airfare where you can kind of book using the eraser tool, or you can use points because they have transfer partners. So you can use those transfer partners, transfer your points using that. And for a beginner, it's good because you have all these different options. And you can kind of do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And so you don't have to just only have it set up one way. So that's really good. The next thing that I really like about it is the global entry. So you get global entry. You get a credit, $100 credit for global entry. That's amazing right there. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I have not seen a card that's a $95 annual fee and that gets you global entry, unless it's like a specific, like a credit union. I've seen some cards for like the Navy Credit Union, I think, Navy Federal Credit Union, I think. They have the global entry with theirs. But you don't see very many cards at a $95 annual fee that will get you that global entry. So that's amazing. If you are traveling, I don't care if you travel once, twice a year, especially if you travel outside of the country, you need to get global entry. And even if you don't travel outside the country now, you still should get global entry because you have two options at this point. Actually three, but the third is really not an option. Clear is another program, but I'm not really big on Clear. It's a little more expensive, and I just have not been sold on Clear yet. But you have TSA PreCheck through the government. You have TSA PreCheck, and you have global entry. Okay, global entry is for if you're outside the country, coming into the country. You go through customs. You go through a separate line. You go to a kiosk. You don't have to go through the line with everyone else. Saves you a lot of time. I mean, the process is 3 or 4 minutes, as opposed to standing in a line, probably waiting 30 minutes to an hour, depending on where you are, and depending on when you get off the plane, or when you're flying in, because if you're flying in with a bunch of other people, then you're going to be waiting in the longer lines. So that's what global entry is. And then you also get TSA PreCheck. So if you get global entry, you're going to get TSA PreCheck as well. TSA PreCheck is for travel within the U.S., so you go through a separate line when it comes to that. You don't have to take your shoes off or your computer out of your bag or your camera gear. You don't have to take any of that stuff out. You just walk straight through. So it's a faster process. Different line. You don't have to take off all your shoes and stuff. And part of the reason why that line is longer in the regular lines because you have to do all that, take off your shoes and all this stuff. So the screening process is longer, whereas the other, and there's always less people in the TSA PreCheck line because not everyone is really getting the TSA PreCheck now, so the lines are better. So anyway, that's that. Global entry, get global entry, don't get TSA PreCheck only because you can get them separate. I can just get TSA PreCheck, it's $85. Or I can get global entry, it's $100, I'm getting global entry and I'm getting TSA PreCheck. So that's the route that you want to go. So for a beginner, this is perfect. You get global entry for a year too. So you'll have, you get it for 5 years. So you'll have that for 5 years that you can use. So even if, let's say worst case scenario, you jump out there, you get this venture card, you don't like it, but you don't have to pay an annual fee for a year. But you don't like it, but you use it, you get the 50,000 points and you can get the global entry for 5 years, you have your 50,000 points. And then after that year, what you should do is you should let it transition into that $95 annual fee and then call and say, yeah, you know what, this card's really not doing anything for me. Do I have any other options? And they're going to probably tell you, yeah, you know, you can downgrade it to the Venture One card. There's 0 annual fee, and of course, you're not going to have some of the same benefits. And then just go that route. And usually they'll waive that $95 after they've charged it to you. Don't do it before. Wait until after. It's just safer to do it that way. You don't want to be that person. You don't want them to look at you as like you get a card, get the sign-up bonus, get the global entry, and then cancel the card a couple months later. You don't want to be that person, because then that can hurt you from getting cards in the future with them. All right. Okay, so now looking at and then you also have no foreign transaction fee, so this card's great for if you're traveling. You don't have to pay that foreign transaction fee, which is big. Like, and I'm in a travel group right now, and that's one of the biggest questions is, how much cash do I bring? Or how do I exchange my money and all that stuff. It's always a question, right? And we always think that, I mean, how do you do it without having to pay a lot of fees? Well, the exchange rate, you're going to have to pay a fee for that wherever you go. I don't care what exchange you go to, you're going to have to pay a fee for that. But if you're in another country and you're using your bank, you're going to have to pay a fee to take money out of your account, right? And they tack on, there's like extra fees when it comes to that as well. So there are ways around that. I use the Charles Schwab high yield checking account. So I have that card. It's a debit card. I transfer money in there prior to my trip. And then when I'm out there, I use the ATM. Go to any ATM. They will waive that fee. Charles Schwab will waive the fee anywhere in the country or anywhere in the world. So I can save money when it comes to that. But another way that I save money is I use my credit cards all the time. So I can go to the ATM once when I get to wherever I'm traveling to. Whatever country I'm traveling to, go to the ATM once, take out whatever I need as far as what I think I'll need for the trip. And that will actually, I usually take out what I think I need as when it comes to cash for the trip, because I will use cash only when I can't use my credit card. But when I can use my credit card, I'm using my credit card. And so that's how I work that. And you'll save a lot of money on fees and stuff like that by doing that. No foreign transaction fees. You don't have to pay that. And so you'll be able to avoid a lot. So I use my credit cards for pretty much all of my purchases. And then when I want to buy, like, let's say I go to a flea market or something like that, and I need to buy like souvenirs and stuff, well, then that's when I pull out the cash and use the cash. And then you also don't have to carry that much cash on you. That's another thing. Like, I don't want to have a lot of cash on me at all times, because when you're traveling, you're usually in tourist areas, and in tourist areas, I don't care where you are in the world, in tourist areas, you're going to have people that are pickpocketing. So I don't want to be in that situation where someone just pickpockets me. Okay, so travel accident insurance. So we talked a little bit about insurance and some of the other stuff, and they do provide some insurance. Read the fine print on the different travel insurance and stuff that they provide, because they are all different. And some of them are better, like the Chase Sapphire Reserve, the travel insurance is better with the Chase Sapphire Reserve than with the Chase Sapphire Preferred. They offer some of the same things, but the Chase Sapphire Reserve will offer you even more and will allow you to get things faster. Like your flight delay is 6 hours instead of 12 hours. So, I mean, you can start redeeming your benefits a lot faster if you have some of the higher end cards. So you want to read the fine print when it comes to the travel insurance and stuff. Okay, auto rental collision damage. This is a secondary insurance, so it's not your primary insurance like you would get with the Chase Sapphire Preferred or Reserve. Okay, so I think that's it. We just kind of go over a few of the things here. Great card though. I highly recommend this card for anyone who's getting started. It's a good card to get. Now, with the transfer partners, what I don't like is when you're transferring, you're not transferring one-to-one. And so if I have 1 point it's actually 2-to-1. So let's look at it this way. If I have 2 points with Venture and I'm transferring it over to one of the transfer partners, I'm getting 1.5. So I'm not getting that full value. I'm losing a little bit. So just be aware of that. So you're not going to get that one-to-one. Like with Chase, most of the transfers that I do, I'm getting one-to-one. So if I transfer to United, 10,000 points to United, I'm getting that full 10,000 points over United. Whereas with the Venture card, when you do the transfers, you're not getting the full value. And in some cases, you're getting a lot less. You're getting, yeah, I won't say a lot less, but you're getting even less than 1.5. All right. So we looked at that card. You guys have questions, you go ahead and let me know. If you guys have the card and you're using it and you have some more insight, then please put it in the chat. And we'll move through here a little faster. I know we wanted to talk about, what was that card again? The USA, let's see, where was the card? Refresh my memory, guys. It was the USA something or other. A card that we wanted to look at. Here, we'll go back here and then we'll see if I can't find it. And any questions? Let's see. Oh. Okay. So I opened up that link, Jeremy. And let me come up here and just find these. I can't remember what that last card was, sorry. I can't find it in the chat. So I'm going to move on. If you are still in the room, just remind me. I know it was the USA something, US Bank something, but I can't remember what card it was. And then we'll pull that up. Let's see. Yeah, I heard about the United being upset with Chase in regards to Chase Sapphire, a card stealing United credit cards glory. Oh, okay. Well, we'll see. They're all... I don't know what, but what can United do? Yeah, like, I don't know really what they can do because their card is with Chase. I mean, they would have to leave, United would have to leave Chase and go with, like, who are they going to go with? They're not going to go with Citi, I would hope. That would really be a mistake. So, yeah, I don't know if they really have options when it comes to, they can be upset, I guess, but I don't know if that would make any changes. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Roman, what's going on? That's probably some kind of compliance review on part of Chase. This is like the deep state when it comes to what Chase and our any bank does regarding you and your individual client. Yeah, so, yeah, you just need to be careful when you're dealing with these credit cards, and you do need to read the fine print and use the cards the way that they're designed to use for you to use them. You can still make it. You can still come out on top, even if you're using it the way that they're designed to be used, because the credit card companies prey on people not paying their credit cards off, right, and not paying them every month. So you know that. So pay it every month. And you're within compliance. You're doing what they're asking. I mean, they want their money, so you're giving them their money. So you're not doing anything wrong in that sense, and they're not making any money on you. So use the card, pay it off every month. Those two things, you should be fine. Now, if you're trying to do some of the other little things, yeah, it might raise some red flags, and you might have some issues there. HD Chillin', Amex Platinum family welcomes you, David. Yeah. Thanks, brother. I like I said, I will be getting into that game. I've always said I'm waiting, and I am still waiting for them to open up the Centurion Lounge at the Los Angeles airport. And I am still waiting. They said 2019. We're well into 2019, and then I saw somewhere they said it was going to be 2020, the beginning of 2020. So maybe they're having some issues. I don't know with just like building it or whatever. But I'm telling you, I had a really good experience. And the reason why I want it at my home airport is I want to leave early and be able to kind of relax and stuff like that. So I want to know that every time that I travel, I could at least use a lounge, a nice lounge. And now I can go to a few nice restaurants because Los Angeles, I believe they have 3 restaurants now, P.F. Chang's and 2 other ones. So that's good. But I am kind of waiting because I don't have to get an Amex Platinum card right now or Amex Gold. I don't need to get those cards right now. But at some point, I will be jumping into that ecosystem. So when I do, yeah, it'll probably be after they launch the Centurion Lounge in Los Angeles. Hey, David, quick update. Just finished completing the Chase trifecta, Chase Freedom Unlimited, Freedom, and the Chase Sapphire Preferred. The Chase rep said I could upgrade my Chase Sapphire Preferred, Chase Sapphire Reserve after year one, but won't earn the bonus. That is correct. Yeah, that's pretty much where you are. You have to wait a year, and then you can apply for the or upgrade to the Chase Sapphire Reserve. And I recommend doing that, even though you're not going to get that bonus. I would still recommend doing it. The Chase Sapphire Reserve, for me, if you travel enough, it's a great card. If you travel 3-4 times a year, it's a great card to have. So, yeah, definitely do that if you can. And don't worry about the annual fee. Don't worry about it. If you're traveling 3 to 4 times a year and you're using those benefits, you're using the travel credit and you're staying, using the restaurant credits, which I highly recommend. I can't say this enough. If they have a restaurant at the airport and they're partnered with Priority Pass, you take advantage. I don't care if you just go, if you're late to your flight, well, not late. You want to get there early enough, but you can always sit down, because sometimes they won't, when I went to PF Chang's, they told me no, there was no takeouts. There was no, you couldn't just order it and have them put it in bag and take out. So you had to sit down. So I sat down, I ate one meal, and then I had them box up one, and they took the other one. And I don't know if that's just PF Chang's, but I'm just kind of preparing you. So if you get there, sit down, have a meal, and $30 is enough for 2 meals easily. Now, if you're by yourself, if you're with someone else, you can get an additional, you can both get a meal. So it's a +1. So I can sit down, have a meal, and the person I'm with can have a meal as well. So they'll credit it, I think it's like $56 total, right? So that's even another thing you can think about. If you're traveling with people, you can double up. So yeah, huge credit, huge benefit with the Chase Sapphire Reserve, and then just some of the other things that you might want to use. The last trip I was in Hawaii, I generally don't rent cars. When I travel outside of the country, I never rent a car. I always use taxis and Uber. But when I'm in the U.S., I'm fine. Especially when I went to Hawaii, I was in Kauai for 7 days. You need to have a vehicle. You're on an island. You're not going to get lost. I know the rules of the road, all that good stuff. So I'm fine with renting a car. So I rented a car for 7 days, used my Chase Sapphire Reserve. When they asked me if I wanted insurance, I said, no, I don't need it. I have my Chase Sapphire Reserve. It has primary car insurance. So you can really make out. There's some different benefits that you can really come out on top when it comes to that card. And actually, Chase Sapphire Preferred also gives you the rental car insurance primary too. So you can still use that benefit. Okay, D. Anderson, Capital One, dreaded 3 pools. Yeah, so D. Anderson's just talking about, yeah, so Capital One, they do pull from all 3 credit bureaus. So when you do get that card, get a card with Capital One, they're going to pull from all 3. So just be aware of that. Let's see. Javier, I am still eligible to earn the bonus on my new Chase Freedom card. When did we talk? What do we? I don't remember. I don't remember the conversation we had, Javier. I think maybe we had a conversation about this last live stream or the stream before that. Or maybe you're answering a question to someone else's. Let's see. Altered Illusions, what's going on, buddy? Is a hard pull on person's credit for a business card? Is there a hard pull? Yes, there is a hard pull because well, I shouldn't say. If you're doing a sole proprietor, they are going to do a hard pull. Okay. Now, I don't care about hard pulls because your credit will bounce back. So a hard pull, usually 4 to 6 points is what I've experienced. And then after 2 to 3 months, then it will jump back up to wherever that credit limit was. And a lot of times it'll jump even higher. Not credit limit, I'm sorry. Where the credit score was, it'll jump even higher. So I'm not too concerned with credit pulls when it comes to getting credit cards and things like that. It's not that bad. It's not a reason not to get the card. But yeah, now if you're not doing it as a sole proprietor and you're doing it as like a LLC, like you have a corporation, then there's no hard pull or anything like that because you're going off the credit of your company. But if you're going off your own credit and using your Social Security, if you're putting your Social Security in there, Social Security number in there, then yeah, it's going to be a hard pull on you. Okay. Let's see. Javier did have to shift credit around to get approved for the Freedom Card, which was weird. I wonder if I might have trouble upgrading to the Chase Sapphire Preferred, or upgrading my Chase Sapphire Preferred to Chase Sapphire Reserve down the line. Okay, so Javier, yeah, I kind of, you're refreshing my memory now. So, yeah, so you had to move money around to get the Chase Freedom. So basically what he's saying is, let's say Chase Freedom said you need to have your credit limit, the credit limit that we allow you, like the credit that we give you has to be 3,000. Let's just say it has to be 3,000, right? And then with the Chase Sapphire Preferred, like they'll only allow you a certain amount of credit. So that's what he's doing here. So he has to kind of move things around in order to get the Chase Freedom. Could that affect the Chase Sapphire Reserve? It possibly could. Chase Sapphire Reserve, I think you have to have at least a credit limit of 10,000 or more. Like, so if you get that card, your credit limit is going to be 10,000 or higher. So if you can't either qualify for that or you don't have enough room to get that 10,000, then you might have to move some stuff around in order to do that. That's something you could probably just like call in and ask them about. Like, hey, this is a situation. I have the Chase Sapphire Preferred. I want to get the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Am I like pre-qualified? How does my credit look and my credit limits, how do they look? And they might be able to help you out with that. Mr. Alexander, how many cards should I apply for per year? That's totally up to you. I'll tell you what I do is I pretty much get a card every 3 to 4 months. That's kind of been my routine. And I find that works for me. And it depends on how much you travel, right? If you travel a lot and you want to get these cards because you need to continue to get points. What I don't recommend is getting a bunch of cards every month, okay? When I say a bunch, 3 cards every month is too much. I think that you don't want to be a credit card churner. And then we were talking about, companies closing accounts, Chase and all that, closing accounts. They also look at that. How many cards are you trying to get every month? If you're getting a bunch of cards, they could either shut you down so you can't get a bunch of cards every month. With Chase, they kind of already shut it down by 5/24. Yeah, how much are you traveling? How many points do you need? And so for me, 3 to 4 months, I'm good. I can get a card, hit the sign-up bonus. So generally what I'll do is I'll get a card, hit that minimum spend, get that sign-up bonus, and then I'll start looking for some other cards. And then I'll look for one other card really, and then I'll get that card, and then I'll hit the sign-up bonus, and I'll look. And then sometimes I don't even get a card. Like I'll wait 6 months, I won't get a card. If I don't need to get a card, there's no reason to get one. And if it's not going to benefit me, I'm looking long term. So if it's not going to benefit me in the long run, there's no reason to get the card. And so that's kind of how I work it. It depends on what you're trying to do. But I would recommend not trying to get a bunch of credit cards. It doesn't look good as far as credit in general. It doesn't look good. And if you're trying to apply for a house or a car or something like that, it makes you look unstable if you have a bunch of credit cards that you got all within a year or all within a short period of time. So you want to wait and only get them when you really need them. And try to think, I want this card. I want to be able to have this card and use this card for years and years down the road. If you start thinking along those lines, and you're going to kind of weed out some of these cards that are really not going to be good long term. There's a bunch of cards that come to mind. Some of the airline branded cards, you really need to watch the airline branded cards because the earn possibility on those cards it's horrendous. So don't get a bunch of those is what I'm saying. Don't think, oh, well, I'll just get all 3. I'll get the American Airlines Advantage card. I'll get the United Explorer card. I'll get the Delta Sky Miles, whatever they call their card. I'll get all 3 of them. And then now you're not going to fly on all 3 air carriers. I mean, you need to fly a lot in order to fly on all 3 air carriers and get the benefits of the free bag and all that. So just go with 1, maybe 2. And and make sure you're using them. Because what I'm saying is, with the airline branded cards, the earn possibility is so bad on those cards. It's like 2 points for every dollar spent with the Advantage card that I have. 2 points for every dollar spent. That's booking with the airline. So I'm not going to use that card. I have the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Why am I going to use this Advantage card? And I mean, the only reason I would use the Advantage card is if I want to just make that commitment and keep flying with American Airlines. But I could still get better value with some of the other cards where I can transfer points over to American Airlines. So it's not a good, they usually don't give you good earn possibility. So the only way you're going to make that $95 annual fee every year is by the baggage fees and maybe some of the little perks that they have. Like if you get the like 25% off when you purchase entertainment or food and stuff on a plane. You might be able to make a little bit off that. And some of them will give you like the lounge access passes and stuff like that. So you might make a little bit off that. But I'm just saying, if you get a bunch of those airline branded cards, then yeah, you're not going to make out really well with it. So I'm looking long term. I'm looking for these good cards that I can get for long term. All right. Let's see. Let's move. I am sorry, but I am going to skip a few down here. Let's. Okay, guys. Any other questions? If you have it specifically for me, just put at TEC. And please take the time right now to hit the like button if you haven't done so already. And please consider subscribing to the channel because for the next 30 days, I'll be putting out a video a day. So you'll be able to learn a lot about what we do here on the channel. And I'm really going to be promoting it. So putting out new content. So be there. Now, and I also will be I'll be going to a convention, VidCon. So it's a video convention for like YouTube and Twitch and all this stuff. I went a couple years ago, but I'll be going back this year really to learn more about YouTube, because about a year and a half ago, I got really serious with YouTube. I started getting serious with YouTube. I've had this channel for a long time, but it took that long for me to start thinking, you know what, I really want to kind of jump in and really provide a good forum for people to learn more about travel credit cards and learn more about travel. So I'm going down there to learn more, going to VidCon to learn more. So I'll probably be I will be shooting some video from there, so I might have some videos from there as well. If you guys are YouTubers and you are going to VidCon, let me know. Hit me up because I'd love to meet up and do some stuff. It's going to be in Anaheim, California, and I will be staying there for 3 days. So should be a nice trip. Well, not really. I live in Southern California. This is a weird thing, okay? I live in Southern California. I am using points to stay. I don't live too far from VidCon, from Anaheim. But the reason that I'm staying there as opposed to just commuting there every day, I found just the way that I work, the way that I am, if I'm there, I will participate more. If I'm commuting back and forth, I'm not going to do that much participation. When I say participate more, the way the convention works is they have a lot of these different classes and stuff going on all throughout the day. So from 8 to 5, you have classes, and then you have happy hour and meet and greets and all this stuff. If I'm there, then I'm going to participate in a lot more of that stuff, and I can kind of pick the things that I want to do. I don't have to spend all 8 hours there because let's say, I'll give you a good example. Let's say there's a class that goes on at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then the next class that I want to go to is at 1:30. Well, in the past, yeah, I'd go for the 8 o'clock in the morning, but I might not stay for the 1:30, or I might stay for the 1:30, but then I don't do the meet and greet later on that night at 6 o'clock or what have you. So I find that if I do go to a convention, and I've done a lot of photography conventions, it's best that if you're staying at the hotel, or staying in a hotel nearby, then you can just walk over and go back and forth. So, all right. So I will be at VidCon. So if you know of anybody that's going to VidCon, let me know. Let them know that I'll be there, especially if they're in the whole travel world. I'd love to meet up, and I'm starting to do, you guys see that I'm starting to do more collaborations with different people on YouTube. So if you guys know of anyone, or if you guys are going to VidCon, then let me know. We'll have lunch. Okay. Nafali. I don't know how to say your name, buddy. Let's say I am the only one that hasn't had a hard pull for any Chase cards on any bureau. Okay, how many Chase cards do you have, and how did you not get hard pulls? That's interesting. Let's see. Thomas, what's going on? Debating between getting the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant to help reduce overall credit utilization, which is low, and the Amex Gold to make my grocery and restaurant spending work for me. Any advice? Uh, okay, well, see, they're different. Those cards do different things. So, and I'd have to know like other cards that you have. But basically, I mean, you're talking about a hotel branded card, which is great. So if you stay at Marriott's, then that Bonvoy card would be good. I'm not a huge fan of the Bonvoy Brilliant card. I like the Visa card better. That's just my opinion. Like when it comes to the two cards, I like the Visa card better. The $95 annual fee card, the 150, whatever it is. But you're looking at that card as opposed to the Amex Gold, which I think the Amex Gold is a good universal card, flexible card, where you have points that you can transfer to hotels, you can transfer to airline. You just have more flexibility with that Amex Gold, and the earn possibility on that card is amazing. So if I'm looking at both cards, if you want to just say comparing the two cards, I'd go with the Amex Gold all day. Yeah. Okay, Dolly, what's going on? Ian, is there a benefit to have an airline card if you already have the Sapphire Reserve? Yes, there are benefits to having the airline card. And if you have the Chase Sapphire Reserve, I would look at the United Explorer card. And like I said, I said this before, but the benefits, the free check bags, and the priority boarding. And with the Explorer card, they give you, I have the business version, but I think the regular version also gives you the 2 little club passes, which, like I said, and it's good to have. It's good to have if you're in a bind and you can't use priority pass and you have you have an alternative lounge to go to. But yeah, I definitely like getting the airline branded cards because of that. So not just having Chase Sapphire Reserve, but having one where I don't have to pay bags and stuff. That's good. Rolo, what's up? What's up, buddy? MG Toe, what do you think of the Barclays ecosystem? I don't know much about Barclays ecosystem. What card do they have? God, I can't think of. Yeah, I look at now 4 majors, and the 4 majors I mentioned, the Citi, Chase, American Express, and Capital One. Those are the 4 major ones. I don't really like to jump into some of those the other ecosystems or the other programs. That's just me. I don't know. Maybe I'll look more into Barclays, but at the moment, they're not on my radar. Rolo, today I earned 5 miles dollar using the United card to purchase new sneakers at Adidas. Cool. So Rolo was going through the the shopping portals. So not only do you have travel portals, but you also have shopping portals. So if I go on Chase and let's say I want to make a purchase, like an online purchase, I can go on the Chase Ultimate Rewards program and it will say, does it say shop? I think it says shop now or earn points or something like that. And you click on there and then they have a portal of all these different links of different like Nike and Home Depot and Staples and all these different places. You will get additional points if you click the link and go over to a website there. It's the same website. So if it's Home Depot, I'm going to the same website, but I'm just clicking that link. And in that link, there's information that ties that account to my Ultimate Rewards program. So if I make a purchase through that, then I'll get 2 points for every dollar spent for going through that portal, plus whatever I would normally get. So that's how that all works. So you have those shopping portals too. We don't talk about them. I don't talk about them enough, and a lot of people don't really know that they exist. But if you do shop online, it's a good option. The only thing is they don't have Amazon, so you can't use it for Amazon. But yeah, so that's good that you brought that up, Rolo. Dolly, don't forget to hit the like button. Yes, please hit the like button, and please subscribe if you're new. Please subscribe to the channel. Eddie Perez, what's going on, man? Flashpoint, what's going on? So Flashpoint, he has a web channel. He has a YouTube channel as well. So Flashpoint Capital, and you should be able to just type that in the search. If you're still here, Flashpoint, put a link in the description. Put a link in the chat, and I'll open it up if you're not able to open it up, or if it doesn't show. Sometimes it won't show link. Like if you put a link, sometimes it won't show, and I have to open it up, but I will. But he has a great channel. He talks about travel credit cards and credit cards in general. So you want to stop by his channel as well. I'm trying to build. I want to build, and that's part of the reason why I want to do the collaborations and stuff. I want to build a community of people that do YouTube videos, and there's a lot of us out there right now that are doing YouTube videos that are talking about travel credit cards and credit cards, period. So I want to have like a community of us all that, help each other out and get the word out. Because when it comes to travel credit cards, I'm telling you, this is life-changing, allowing you to be able to just travel the world and not really have to think about money. It's an amazing feeling, I'm telling you, when you can just, like 2 weeks from now if I want, or even I have the convention I was talking about. Now, it's not far, but I had to book my hotel stay. I just booked it yesterday, and I used points, and it's free. I'm not paying any, well, I shouldn't be paying anything, but it's in Anaheim at the convention center, and guess what? The Anaheim Convention Center is just ridiculous when it comes to parking. I don't know what it is. It's right by Disneyland, so that probably explains a lot, but $22 a day to park your car there. And so, of course, I'm driving there, so I'm going to be parking my car there. So $22 a day. So I get to stay for free, but I still have to pay $22 a day to stay there. If you want to use the parking, so let's say I was commuting, it's $19. Well, at least it was 2 years ago. It was $19 a day just to park there. And that's not for that's just for the time that you're there. So, yeah. It's just ridiculous. Man, it costs more to park there for a day than it costs for me if I go to the airport and I do long-term, because sometimes I'll go to the airport, I'll do the long-term parking. So like I'll stay there I'll have my car stay there for 5 days, and then when I come back, I'll get my car. That's like, I think, $16 a day. This is $19. That was 2 years ago. It's probably more now. It's probably in the 20s now. I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, just ridiculous price. But anyway, yesterday I booked my room for 3 nights, and I'm using points staying at the Hyatt place. You guys know I love staying at Hyatt. So the Hyatt place, and it's free. It's just, it's a great feeling, because I could never do that. I could never, in the past, if I wasn't using points, I could never do that. That room that I booked, $270, I think. I think it was $270 a night for that room at the Hyatt place, because there's a convention going on. It's a big convention. $270 a night. There's no way I would pay $270 a night. I can't remember the last time I paid $270 to stay in a hotel room. So, yeah, it's life-changing. It allows you so much more. You can move around. It's just amazing. So anyway, I want to share that with you guys. I want to have more people that are involved in the same thing. We can all come together and really get that word out. Okay, so let's see here. Oh man, I lost my place. I hate when I do that. I lose my place, and then I have to search through everything to find it again. Let's see. I think we were close. Okay, yeah, we're right here, right here. Okay, Yanks 2000. Let's see. Would never get a Capital One card. You can get 2 points per dollar with the American Express Blue Business. All right. So, but the only thing when I talk about Capital One, the Venture card is the one I talk about. There's so many things you can get right out of the gate with that card, and if you're a beginner, getting that global entry is clutch. You get that, you have it for 5 years. You don't have to pay an annual fee on the card for the first year. Now, the earn is good, and you get 2 points for every dollar spent. But yes, it does hurt the fact that when you're transferring those points over, you're losing. You're going to lose value with those points, or transfer 2 to get 1.5. Yeah, that does hurt. But for when you're first starting out, it's a good card to have, or a good card to start with. Would much rather have no annual fee American Express everyday card. Okay, but then you have to. When I say a beginner card, I'm talking about travel. Okay, and I'm not talking about just your run-of-the-mill credit cards. I'm talking about a card that's geared for travel and a card that will help me travel. So if I'm interested in, I'm not interested in getting credit cards. I'm interested in getting travel credit cards. So a regular credit card has no interest. I have no interest at all. The only regular credit cards that I would get would be cashback cards, but only the cashback cards that will help me with travel. So like I said before, the Chase Freedom cards, they help me. They're cashback cards, but they help me with my travel because I can use those points for travel. Okay, great advice on the Venture card. I'll be sharing the sign-up bonus. Wait, I'll be sure to hit the sign-up bonus. Never thought of that. All right, cool, Andrea. What did you get frustrated with the points when you started? Okay, that's a good question, Andre. So I know I talked a little bit about just being like frustrated with points. It's frustrating because it's not easy. Okay, it's not just straightforward. Points are a little bit, they're a little tricky at times, and you're going to get frustrated in the sense that, for one, you're probably not going to get a flight with, like a straight shot when it comes to flights. You're probably always going to have a stopover. I don't care where you're flying to. And so that's where people get a little frustrated. They have these points and they pull up the rewards value. So you'll go to the airline. I'll go to United, and then I'll pull up the flights and I'll hit reward only. So it's only the flights that I can use points for. And when I pull it up, then I'll start seeing, okay, well, this has 1 stop, this has 2 stops, this has 1 stop, and I can't find a flight that's a direct flight. And so that could be frustrating for people. Me, I'm okay with it now because I know how the game works, and I don't care. A stop is fine with me. Even if that layover is 3 or 4 hours, I'm still okay. Why? Because I will usually set it up to where I'll have a lounge there, and by the time, like, I would think like 4 hours, it seems like a long time. It is a long time, but by the time you get off the plane, you kind of get situated. You go to a lounge, you kind of relax a little bit, you flip on the internet, you watch some TV or watch videos on your thing, get a little something to eat. By that time, you're getting ready to go back to the gate because you need to be. Usually, I like to get back to the gate an hour before my flight actually takes off. So already, if it's a 4-hour layover, I only have really 3 hours to kind of do things, and that includes eat and kind of relax. And in some cases, if you have a lounge access, you go and take a shower. I mean, there's so many things you can do to just kind of unwind and kind of relax. And then it also gives me an opportunity to get off the plane and kind of stretch, move around a little bit. Some long flights, you get on those planes and you want to get off that plane. You don't want to do the straight shot. So when I flew to Hawaii, I didn't do a straight shot. I had a layover on all my flights. So when I flew out, I flew from Los Angeles to Kona first, and I had a layover there. That layover wasn't very long. I want to say it might have been an hour. So that was a quick layover. And then from there, then I flew to Honolulu. I was in Honolulu. I was good. Then from Honolulu, a couple of days later, I flew to Kauai, and then got to Kauai. I was good there. And then on my flight back, that had a layover. I had a 4-hour layover. So I flew from Kauai Instead of flying from Kauai straight to Los Angeles, I flew from Kauai to Maui, had a 4-hour layover, 4.5-hour layover in Maui. The problem with that flight, I didn't have very many options because I'm flying on islands, right? I'm landing on islands or what have you. But that flight to Maui, there was no lounge. So I didn't have lounge access at all. Very small airport. And so I went, actually I got online. I did a live stream, which ate up like 2 hours of my time. So that was great. Then I went and got something to eat. And by that time I was headed back to the plane. And so, yeah, so that can be frustrating. And that some people, they're not going to like that because yes, you do have to do, usually you're going to have a stop on your flights. You can make it work for you if you want to do a long layover or you want to do a stopover and experience another city. You can do that. So there are different options, but you do have to be flexible too. So you might see a flight, or you might want to fly on a certain day. You might not be able to do that because you're using points. You might not be able to fly on that certain day. So you're going to have to kind of work that out. And usually you can go the next day, or part of the reason, which just works out in my favor. I actually liked the fact that I had to stay an extra day. But when I was in Hawaii, I couldn't fly back on a Saturday. I was going to use too many points to fly back on a Saturday. 50,000 points to fly back on a Saturday, 20,000 points to fly back on a Sunday on the same airline. So of course I'm going to pick Sunday, and I'll just stay an extra day in Hawaii. And it worked out because I stayed an extra day, stayed and used points to stay. It was a free night at the Grand Hyatt, and they upgraded me to this beautiful suite. So it works out. And now but I'm just saying, you can get frustrated. And then figuring out like the loopholes and like the sweet spots, not loopholes, the sweet spots. So when you try to find out the different sweet spots, that can get a little frustrating because you're like, well, if I book on United, I can do this, but if I go through Singapore Air, then I can fly. So there are different little sweet spots that you can find, and you can really make out well. But you have to do the research. You're gonna have to want to do that research to do that. The easiest way, though, the easiest way to do it is if you're banking on Chase and you have Chase ecosystem, and you have a United card, or you want to fly with United, just transfer your points over to United and work it that way. There are other ways to maximize your points, but when you're starting out, you want to try to do it as bare minimum, like basic as possible. And the basic way to do it, find a flight on United, go back to your Chase Ultimate Rewards portal, transfer those points over to United, and book your flight. And usually you'll come out fine. But there are better ways where you can save even more points, and you'll have to learn about that in the future. That's the only real frustrating part. You can't. It's not as easy unless you're using the portal. You can use a portal too. I didn't talk about that. So let's say we talked about that whole situation where you want to book a flight and you're not able to book it because, like I was saying, I wanted to fly home on Saturday, but I couldn't fly home on Saturday, so I flew back on Sunday, so I had to stay an extra day. I usually don't mind staying an extra day, but let's say I had to get back on Saturday because I had to work on Sunday or something like that. Well, I can still use the travel portal, so I can still go on a travel portal. So I can transfer my points over to United, or I can go on the Ultimate Rewards on Chase. I can go on the Ultimate Rewards travel portal and book a flight from Kauai to Los Angeles. It might mean that I use a little bit more points, or it might mean it'll probably mean that I use more points. That's basically what it'll come down to. But I can still do it. And then in that case, I just do one-way tickets everywhere that I fly to. So that is another option. So you do have, but you have to know how to do those things. So that's where the frustration comes in, just figuring it out. It's not as easy as just going on Expedia and typing in where you want to go and hitting search, and it just pulls up everything, and all you need to do is click buttons. You need to do a little bit more research. All right, guys, please hit the like button if you guys are here, just to bring a few more people in. And I really like all the participation today. Everybody was on here asking questions. I really appreciate that. And if you guys are in here and you're just watching and you haven't, put up a comment or anything like that, that's okay. but I like to just know who's here. So you don't have to say anything. You just give me like a little thumbs up symbol in the chat. That way I can at least give you a shout out, as well as if you have like questions in the future, stuff like that. I have a pretty good memory, so I'll remember most people that come on here. So if you do have a question, you want to talk to me offline, or you have a question about something, I'll remember. Oh yeah, I remember you're in the chat. Or if you do have a question, you ask it. Usually I remember as well. So, all right, yeah. So if you're in here right now, just thumbs up symbol or something in the chat would be great, and also like the video so we can promote it out to more people on YouTube. Okay. But yeah, Andre and Andrea, great questions. Great questions. Let's see. Been there with hotels.com. Yeah. Yeah, hotels.com they're not bad. Like I've stayed with hotels.com before, but this is the first time that I had to make a change to my reservation, and that's where I was like, I can't. I don't want to deal with this. And even still, like now, I usually will go with the hotel branded. God, I'm losing it. Usually, I will go directly with the hotel or directly with the airline. That's just my practice because it's so much easier to make changes, and you're dealing directly with them. You don't have a middleman in between, so it just works out better for me. But if I'm in a bind and there's nothing available, and like I like to stay with Hyatt, so there's no Hyatt, and this is what the case was this last time when I booked with hotels.com. I was staying in Barranquilla for Carnival. There's no Hyatt in Barranquilla. The closest Hyatt is in Cartagena, so I didn't want to do that. And Cartagena is like hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes away, so I didn't want to go that route. And so hotels.com was available. Like I said, okay, well, I'll go ahead and book through them. And I have a couple of stays at hotels.com already, so I have some credit with them or points. So that's the reason that I tried to go that route. When I say points, I mean after 10 nights, the next night's free or something like that. So I already have a few nights that I've stayed with hotels.com. Okay, U.S. Bank Altitude Reserve. Okay, so that was the card. All right, we'll pull that up real quick so I can go through. There's a few more. Let's see. We'll pull it up and answer some questions while this thing is loading. All right. I think this opens it up. Yeah, here we go. All right, other questions. D. Anderson, I bank with U.S. Bank as well. Okay, oldest. Okay, so you just have all your cards on there. That's good. D. Anderson, MG Tow, TEC. Will the LAX Centurion Lounge be in the Tom Bradley Terminal? If so, you can only use it for an international flight. Or if so, can you only use it? Okay, really good question, MG Tow. I would imagine it's going to be in the Tom Bradley Terminal. The Tom Bradley Terminal is a new terminal. Well, relatively new. It's not brand new, but it's the international terminal. So it's really nice in there. I mean, they did a really good job. And I would imagine it will be there. Now, you do have access from the other terminals. So, good example. When I flew to Hawaii, it's a domestic flight, but I still had access to the international terminal. So now when you're going through the screening, you go through the screening and you can still walk. You have to go through these tunnels and stuff, but you can still walk from one terminal to another terminal, and then you can get all the way down to the international terminal if you want. And they purposely, obviously, designed it that way because in that Bradley terminal, you have a mall, so you have like stores and stuff there you might want to go to. You have some PF Chang's, you have other restaurants that you might want to go to. So they've set it up nicely that way. So yeah, you do have access. Now, I will tell you, it's a long walk. And watch my video on the one I did on PF Chang's, the restaurant credit one. And it took me 25 minutes to walk from Terminal 7 to the international terminal. And so it's a long walk. And so you have to take that into consideration. You get there, you have to have enough time to walk that 25 minutes. And then you get there and you're going to a restaurant, so you sit down, you have your meal at the restaurant, and then you have to walk, or you go to the Centurion Lounge, you hang out at the Centurion Lounge, and then you're going to have to walk back to your terminal if you're not flying international. Now, if you're flying international, you're going to be in that terminal anyway, but if you are flying domestic, you are going to have to walk. So it depends on what terminal. Like, I'm in Terminal 7. If I was in Terminal 4, 5, I was pretty close. Like, you could just walk in. It wasn't that far. But being that I was at Terminal 7, I was like in the far end. So, all right, let's look at this card. Let's pull this up real quick and take a look. So, U.S. Bank and the Altitude card. Okay, so like I said already, I like cards that, I like the four major card brands, like I said, Citi, Capital One, Chase, and then American Express, because they have these set up ecosystems where you have transfer partners and stuff like that. U.S. Bank doesn't have that, and so at least I don't think they have it. I have never really looked at their card, but I haven't really heard anything about them having any type of travel partners or anything like that. The travel partners are key when it comes to using points, because just like I kind of gave you the frustrations that I had with points and stuff like that, or using points, when you have those travel partners, it is amazing, because you can just transfer them up to these travel partners, and those points become, so my points with Hyatt become, or I'm sorry, my Chase points in the Ultimate Rewards program, I transfer them over to Hyatt, they become Hyatt points. And so I use them as Hyatt points. And I think that's the reason why I got upgraded this my last trip, is because I had 25,000 Hyatt points, and I transferred them over from Chase, but I had those points. I booked my stay. It was a free night. You go in there, and of course they ask you I asked for an upgrade, like when I got there at the front desk, and I think that, and I'm already a member of Hyatt Explorers, so I had to have some status, but usually they don't upgrade you. Explorers, they don't usually upgrade you to a suite. They'll usually upgrade you to a preferred room, like a preferred view or something like that. So I think that has a lot to do with it. They see that I have points with Hyatt, which means that I'm staying in their mind, I have these points because I stay at Hyatt, and I've earned these points that way. So I think that does have an impact. All right, let's go ahead and look at this card real quick. So you can earn 3 points for every dollar. First off, let's see the annual fee on this card. That's what I like to know. Okay, so we have $400 annual fee, $75 for each additional card, no foreign transaction fees. Okay, so $400 annual fee, so that's what we're looking at there. The sign-up bonus here is 50,000 bonus points, and that's after spending $4,500 in the first 90 days of account opening. All right, so just looking at this, my first impressions, $400 annual fee, that's a lot. That is a lot. Can you get that value every year? If you can get that value every year, then it makes sense to get the card and then keep the card. The minimum spend here is $4,500. That might be tough for some people. Depends on your spending habits, but $4,500, that's not. Usually they're around $3,000 for a card like this, maybe $4,000, but usually never $4,500. $4,500 is a little more than most. All right, we got a super chat in the building. Hardy, what's going on, buddy? HD chilling. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I really appreciate it, buddy. Hardy's been clutch, man. Hey, and Hardy, just so you know, I talked with Afro Guajira, and she'll be on tomorrow. So tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we're going to have her on. I was trying to get her on tonight, but it just didn't work out. She was having some car trouble. So we'll do it. We're going to do it tomorrow for sure. But hopefully this will be the start of something good where we can do more videos, like do one live stream and then continue doing live streams. She's got a lot of information when it comes to Colombia. You already know that, Hardy. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that because Hardy was one of the guys that was, he's out there trying to get people to come onto my channel from Colombia. So yeah, I appreciate it, buddy. I really do. All right. Let's see. So going back to the card, yeah. So $4,500 for some people that might be a little bit of a stretch. The most I've ever hit on a minimum spend was 5,000, and I did that with the United Explorer card, the business version, the business card. It's 5,000. So just something to think about. Now you're gonna get. Let's see. Okay, so we're $750 on travel. So they're giving you what, 25% more, and I'm sure they say it somewhere here how they do that, but let's move on down. Okay, so 3 times points or triple points. Earn 3 points for every dollar spent on eligible net travel purchases and mobile wallet spending. Okay, so they're really promoting the mobile wallet, which everybody's promoting this mobile wallet thing. Apple and even Google Pay, they were promoting that on Chase, and I was able to get some extra. I think it was Chase. It was one of my Chase cards. I was able to get some extra points for that. So they are really promoting these mobile wallets. So when it comes to the on net travel, so I don't know what they're saying. I mean, I have to read the fine print to know exactly. So it says net travel, so that means airline, hotel. Does that mean everything, or yeah, I don't know exactly what that means. So up to $325 annual statement of credit. Okay, get reimbursed for eligible net travel purchases. What is this net travel? Let's see, automatic taxis, net purchases that post to your account, card member based on. Okay, so they're looking at the categories here, it looks like. Okay, so that's net. Okay. All right, so that looks pretty good. Now the credit up to $325 travel, or so you're getting like credit for that. That's good. So I just came all the way out of there. Let's see here. Let's open that back up. So that looks pretty good. So far the card looks pretty good. Now, if you have U.S. Bank, this is probably a card that you would really consider getting. Like I said, you will be limited though. So that $750 that they're saying that the value, that's pretty much what you're going to be limited to. You're not going to be able to transfer these points over to a transfer partner, and that's where the cards get weak when they don't have these built-in transfer partners. And the reason that I'm saying that, I'll just give you an example. 50,000 points. Okay, if I have 50,000 points and I want to fly business class somewhere, and I don't know, you want to fly business class somewhere, and let's say it's 45,000 points to fly business class, right? And let's say it's a round trip ticket. You have it's a domestic flight, business class. It's not going to be the lie flat seats, but it will be a business class. And let's say you want to fly to New York. You have the 45,000, and you use those 45,000 points. I can transfer those points directly to United, fly on United to New York, do that business class flight, and that ticket might be $1,300, $1,400 if I want to pay for a business class seat. You could never get there with this card because you have 50,000 points, but the most that I can get is $750. I don't have any transfer partners I can transfer to, so I'm going to have to just book it and then have them credit my account. So that's where they fall short. And so if you're a person like me who likes to travel, I guess you can say travel in style, travel business class, first class, if you want to do that or you want to use it to stay, like I just had an opportunity. Well, I guess you can get upgraded to a hotel just by, you can pay for it and then still get upgraded. But if you want to have different type luxury travel, especially when it comes to airlines and flying on business class and first class, then you want to go with the transfer partners because you're going to need to transfer your points over somewhere. Okay, complimentary Wi-Fi. Okay, stay connected. 12 complimentary go Instafly. Okay, so that's good. So you get the Wi-Fi. I have never had a need to use Wi-Fi on a plane. But if you are a business person, you need to get online for that purpose, then you have that option with this, so that's good. All right, mobile wallet purchases. We talked a little bit about that earlier. 3 points for every dollar spent on all eligible mobile wallet purchases. Apple Pay, Google Pay, and Samsung Pay, plus 3 points for every dollar on eligible travel purchases with accelerated point earning. Okay, so purchases get you closer to your next getaway. All right, okay, this card looks good. Okay, it does look good. The only issue that I have, no travel partners. That's the only issue. But everything else, it looks pretty good. It's a promising card. You can definitely get that $400 value with this card, just looking. And I don't include that annual or that sign-up bonus. I never include the sign-up bonus because you shouldn't. You want to look long-term. You want a card that you can keep for a long period of time. This card will get you. It will fit a lot of the boxes that you would need. It's a level 3 card in my mind, so it's a top tier card, but it doesn't. Oh, here we go. Airport lounge. I was going to say it doesn't get you airport lounge, but it looks like you have some lounge access, complimentary 12-month. Oh, so you get the 12-month priority pass. So you get it for 1 year. I don't like that. I don't like that. It's good that you get it for a year, but obviously you want to be able to keep the card for more than a year. So I would want more than just that 12 months. That's something that they need to work out. Yeah, because like I said, it's a level 3. So I have 3 levels: level 1, level 2, level 3. Level 1 cards are kind of the no annual fee cards. The level 2 cards, $95 annual fee, and then level 3 is the top tier, so $450 annual fee and up. And this card fits in that level 3. The only problem is you should be getting lounge access with this card. You really should, for more than just 1 year. It's good that they give it for a year, but you should have it more than 1 year. TSA PreCheck, global entry credit, so that is good. That is a real good perk there. Ground Link Black Car Service. Okay, receive chauffeur, so you can get that. But it's not free. Obviously, you're going to have to pay for that. Silver card, drive out. Okay, so you get that. Any other benefits? Rich point value. 50 points can be redeemed for $750 in airfare, hotel, and rentals, and more. Okay. All right, so we kind of rounded it out here. Some of the other benefits are pretty much the same. If I have U.S. Bank, I might consider getting this card. But like I said, the biggest thing that hurts this card is there's nowhere to transfer my points to. I'm stuck with the points on this, in this setup here. Comparing this to the Venture card, I would go with the Venture card. This card gives you a lot of good benefits, but it's a $400 annual fee, and I'm not sure exactly how this annual statement of credit works, up to $350. I don't know exactly how that works. So that's a real big deciding factor there. Because if they're saying it's a $325 credit, like a travel credit, it says get reimbursed, I don't know exactly how that works. Then that brings your annual fee down to $75. And then you can easily get $75 in value on this card. So it can make sense in the sense that you have a $400 annual fee, you can get it down to $0 every year. So it can make sense to have the card, but to fly, to use it for travel, you're going to run into some roadblocks if you want to try to fly business class or first class. That's my only thing, and that's what I like to do. I like to fly business class and first class if I can. So you're going to miss out on some of that. Earn possibility with this card, it's okay. Chase Sapphire Reserve is going to give me 3 points for every dollar spent on travel. This one has that mobile wallet, which mobile wallet's not accepted everywhere, but it is being accepted in a lot more places. So you get the 3 points for every dollar spent there. So that can help out. I like the Wi-Fi, although I don't use Wi-Fi. It is nice to have it. And you have 12 complimentary. Now, is that 12 every year? Is that 12? Like, what is the 12? Does it restart every year, I guess is my question. So there would be some questions that I would have, and I'd look at the fine print. And I recommend doing that. Anytime you're considering getting a credit card, obviously look into look at the front page and then go into the fine print and find out exactly what all this stuff means, because that will ultimately determine if you get the card or not. Think long term. Don't think, oh, I can get the card. And some people might think, oh, I get the card and I get 12 months of priority pass. I'm thinking I want priority pass as long as I have the card. I don't want it just for 12 months. So start thinking along those lines, because you don't want to be in a situation where you get the card, you have it for a year, and then that priority pass is something that you really enjoy using, and then now you no longer have it with that card, and so now you're starting to think, it really lowers the value of this card, the fact that I don't have the priority pass anymore. So, and then you start thinking, oh, I'm going to downgrade the card and all that stuff. So, yeah, just something to think about. Decent card, but I personally don't have U.S. Bank and have no desire to kind of jump outside and get a card that doesn't have, the set transfer partners and stuff like that. So I would personally pass, but it's not a bad card. All right, let's see. Let's go through a few more of these questions here. So if you guys have any questions, you can put them in the chat now. Yes, venture card is 0 annual fee for the first year. That's hip saying that. It is also a metal card for those who care about that. Yeah, and some people are big on the metal. I'm not gonna lie, I do like having a metal card. I think it does add a little bit to. It doesn't determine if I'm gonna get the card or not. I do like cards that have nice design, and metal cards do feel better. Let's face it, they're heavier and it just feels more. I don't know. It's one of those deals. It's kind of, you can show it off, right? You can show people your card, whatever. It has to have something. There has to be something good about the reason why they're making these metal cards. It has to have something psychological, some psychological advantage. Why these credit card companies try to make really nice designs, the rose gold and the metal cards. It probably makes people use cards more because they want to use that card because it's a nicer card. I don't know. Something there. I'm sure there was a study on this somewhere, and these credit card companies know it. Daniel, what's going on? U.S. Bank. Okay, so you put that on there. All right, you guys reminded me. So let's see. D. Anderson. I bank with U.S. Bank as well. Okay, so you guys are showing your cards there. MG Toe. So we looked at all these questions here. Mr. Alexander, what about starting with the Chase Freedom? So your question is, I would recommend starting with the Chase Freedom, actually. If you're just getting started out and you want to start with the Chase ecosystem. Now, like I said, I like that venture card because for someone just starting and that doesn't know anything about credit cards, travel credit cards, I think venture card is good. Now, let's say you've done some research. You've taken 6 months and you kind of do some research and you have a pretty good grasp on points and how everything works. I would jump and get a Chase Freedom card because I know getting that Chase Freedom, because someone brand new that doesn't know anything about travel credit cards, they're not going to know that getting a Chase Freedom card will allow you to not use those points, to save those points there, and then in the future get a Chase Sapphire Preferred or Chase Sapphire Reserve and then transfer those points up. Someone who's done some research, they're going to know that, or someone who's watched the stream is going to know because I just said it. So in that case, yes, it makes sense. Get that Chase Freedom card and then work your way up. Get the Chase Sapphire Preferred or the Chase Sapphire Reserve, and then I'm telling you, I would move in if you can move into the business cards, Chase Ink Unlimited, Chase Ink Preferred, and work that because you're getting sign-up bonuses on all those. The Chase Ink Business Preferred, that card's 80,000 sign-up bonus. Now, the minimum spend is 5,000, so you do need to spend a little bit more money, but it's an 80,000. It's the highest sign-up bonus on the card that's out right now that I know of. That's of that value. The points, as far as how much the points are worth, 80,000. It's a huge jump, and if you work it right, you can, you can really maximize those points. So anyway, yes, Chase Freedom Card is definitely a good card to consider as a beginner. But that would be more of a person who knows a little bit more. You're a beginner, but you still know a little bit more. Or you get the Venture Card first, and then you move into that Chase Freedom Card, then get the Chase Sapphire Reserve, and then work your way up from there. Get an Airline branded card, and I would recommend at that point if you go from let's do a work through, and this is just my opinion. Like I said, I'm not an expert on getting credit cards, travel credit cards, but if I were to start right now, what would I do? I would go with the Venture Card first. That would be my first card, and get used to using travel credit cards. What did I say? 3,000. You have to spend 3,000 within the first 3 months. I get my global entry. And then at that point, I'd have that card for 3 to 4 months. And then at that point, then I'd start looking, okay, well, maybe I need to go with Chase because Chase, the 524, so let me work on that. So that at that point, I would go to the Chase Freedom Card. I'd get that Chase Freedom Card, and in my mind, I'm thinking, because I'm already going to know, like I'm not a beginner, so I already know I need to have at least 10,000. I want to have a credit card that gives me at least 10,000 as far as the credit limit. So because I know getting that Chase Sapphire Reserve, I'm going to need that 10,000. So if I do have a card, and let's say it might not even be a travel card, it might be a credit card that I've had in the past that gives me that 10,000 or higher, then I already know that I've already jumped over one hurdle. That doesn't mean that I'm going to get the card, but it at least means I've jumped over one hurdle already. So Venture Card first, Chase Freedom Card, Chase Freedom or Freedom Unlimited. I like the Chase Freedom Card because I like those rotating categories. So I like that. So go with the Chase Freedom Card, and then wait 3 to 4 months after getting that card, hit the minimum spend and all that. You can hit the minimum spend easy. It's like $500, I think. And then you get the $150 sign-up bonus. So you get a little bit. And then from that point, 3 to 4 months later down the road, then looking to get into the Chase Sapphire Reserve. And if you can. Now, if you can't, you can go with the Chase Sapphire Preferred. But I would look to try to get the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Get that Chase Sapphire Reserve. Once I have that card, then I can start looking. And at this point, what is it? 3 cards in, so I only have 2 more slots when it comes to Chase. So now I have to really start thinking about what cards do I really need. I would want to get an Airline branded card. So I would probably, and I'm not, like I said, this is me, not you. You might live in a different location, so United doesn't make sense. But for me, United makes sense. So I would go with the United Explorer card, get that one. And then now I only have 1 slot left. Now with having that 1 slot left, that's when, if I have any type of a business where I make money outside of my regular job, then I would apply for the Inc. cards. And I would start with the Chase Inc. Business Preferred card, because that will give me that 80,000 sign-up bonus. And guess what? I'm at 424 now. I have 424. I get that Chase Inc. Business Preferred. It doesn't add to my 524. So I'm still at 424. And then once I have the Chase Inc. Business Preferred, then I can wait maybe 3 or 4 months down the road and look and say, okay, well, I got the Chase Inc. Business Preferred. Why don't I get the Chase Inc. Cash card or get the Chase Inc. Preferred card? They both have sign-up bonuses right now for 50,000. So I get one of those cards, get the 50,000 for that sign-up bonus. So I'm waiting another 3 or 4 months, get that sign-up bonus. It doesn't add to 524, so I'm still at 424, right? And then I can wait a little bit longer, and then maybe get whatever one I don't get. So if I get the Chase Inc. Cash, then I'll go with the Chase Inc. Unlimited. Get the Chase Inc. Unlimited, another 50,000 sign-up bonus, and doesn't go towards 524, so I'm still at 424. So that's what I'm trying to say. And then I still have that 1 slot open, so if I do need to get another card, I can. And now all this time, we're working on 2 years at this point, right? Because every 3 to 4 months you're getting a new card. You're only getting maybe a new card every 3 months, or I'm sorry, you get maybe 3 new cards every year. So at this point, you're coming back to that 24-hour point, or 24 month point. And so now some of these cards that you got from the beginning, the Venture card, the Freedom card, they're starting to drop off, and so you're opening up other slots. So just something to think about. Like I said, you do have to have some type of a legitimate business. You need to make money on the side doing something in order to do this, but you still can qualify as long as you're making money. And they're not really looking at exactly how much money you're making. As long as you have a job, a regular job, and you make money in your regular job, they're still going to ask you for how much you make on your regular job, and they're still going to run your credit through your Social Security number. So they're going to know what's going on. So they'll know, okay, well, even though they're not making that much with their business, they still have their personal credit. And your personal credit will be affected if you don't pay it. So it's not like, let's say you have a corporation and you have some credit cards with your corporation, and you don't pay those credit cards, and your corporation goes under. It doesn't. In most cases, it's not going to affect your personal credit, but in this case, it will because because you're a sole proprietor. All right. So that was kind of my roundabout. Actually, I should do a video on that, just kind of how I would take the steps. With the 30 videos that I'm putting out, I am going to sit down and do kind of how I would handle it. Pretty much what I just said, but I'll make it a little nicer with bells and whistles and, different cut-ins and outs and all that. All right. So to answer your question, Mr. Alexander, yes, starting with the Chase Freedom Card is a good way to go. And you don't even have to get a venture card. Yeah, especially if you already know, like Chase, you want to start with that ecosystem, get that Freedom Card. Yeah. Okay, Thirsty Lion, what's going on, buddy? Centurion Lounge is now open in Phoenix. Oh, cool. I did not know that. That's good. So I know they have one in San Francisco. They have one in Las Vegas. So they have one in Phoenix. They're going to have one in LA. They're moving all over. They have one in Los Angeles. And that's a big perk. It is. When you start going, and I like Priority Pass, but when you start going to these Priority Pass lounges, you're going to quickly find out they're not all created equal. So you're going to have some that are good. You're going to have most of them that are just average, and you're going to have some that are kind of bad. They're not nice at all. So you're going to have a wide variety of different lounges, but it's always nicer than being in the regular terminal. I have not gone to a lounge yet where I said, wow, I'd really prefer to be in a regular terminal right now. That's never happened. So they're always going to be a step up from the regular terminal, and you'll always have beverages. They all have beverages, so any lounge you go to, you're going to have beverages, whether that be alcohol, sodas, juices, water. They're going to have that at the lounge. And then most of them will have something to eat. Most of them will have, or actually all of them will have something to eat. It might not always be what you want to eat. So you'll have some snacks and stuff like that, but you might not have like a meal. In most cases, you're not going to have a meal. You might have some warm food, but some places I've gone to, all they have is snacks, and it's like pre-made stuff. It's not even stuff that they've made. So it's like packaged stuff. So just something to be aware of. That's when it comes to Priority Pass lounges. Now, Centurion Lounges is a step up from that, and I have not been in a Centurion Lounge. I've only seen it on TV. I've seen pictures of it in video. So it is a step up from the lounges that I've seen in Priority Pass. But the big thing the big takeaway, or the big benefit of the Priority Pass, is now that they have the restaurant credits. It's good. Being able to go and eat at an airport for free, that's unheard of. Okay, MG Toe, TC, are you going to a live stream from VidCon, or am I going to do a live stream from VidCon? Yes, I will. Obviously, I have to deal with the internet connection and stuff. Hyatt's generally okay. Hyatt hotels are generally okay when it comes to live streams. When it comes to internet. So hopefully I'll be able to do a live stream. I know I'm not going to be the only one that's trying to do a live stream out of there. So It's possible that I can do one from VidCon. I know they're going to have certain areas where creators can go and kind of do live streams if they want, or do shoot videos if they want. So perhaps I'll be able to do that there. And I'm looking for, like I said, I'm looking for people who are like-minded, travel credit cards, credit card, financial, channels. I'm looking for people like that there. So hopefully I can do maybe at least one collab, meet someone and do at least one collab with them. So yeah, I am planning on doing something there. Now, Saturday, I'm actually glad you brought that up because Saturday, I'll be there Saturday night, but it's going to be an event, so I'm not going to be doing a live stream next Saturday night. But I will do live streams prior to that, so I'll let you guys know exactly what the plan is, and I'll probably just push it off until Sunday. I'll be back home, so I can do a live stream Sunday night. But I'll let you guys know the details. Thomas, what's going on? I actually meant the Chase $95 one. My bad. Okay, what question did you, where was your question? Was it way up there somewhere? Oh, okay. Depending on between getting the Marriott Bonvoy, reducing credit utilization, Amex Gold. Okay, I can't find that other question though. Thomas, sorry, man. Let's see. For the Marriott card, oh, for the Marriott. Okay, so, you're talking about the Chase. Okay, yes, you're talking about the 95. All right, I got you. Yeah, so I understand what you're saying. So not the Amex one, but the Chase one, the $95 annual fee. That's a good card. Now, like I said, in my mind, they're two different cards. One is for hotels. One is a flexible card that you can use for hotels, airfare, all that. I always go with what's more flexible if I can. So that in this situation, I still like that Amex Gold. I like the earn possibility on the Amex Gold. It's just a really good card, and it will allow me to use it for hotels and for airfare. So that's the way that I look at that. Now, if you've already made it, if you made a commitment with Marriott, or you like staying at Marriott properties and you want to make a commitment with them, then yeah, the card makes sense. That's a good card. That $95 annual fee card is a good one. So you wouldn't go wrong with getting that card. But if I were looking at one of the two right now, I would probably go with the Amex Gold. Okay, stock market investing. Citi is behind the competition with their recent cuts to their cards. Yeah, I agree. To the Prestige card. They were already behind the game in my mind. I mean, Citi was always third. There was never a situation where I said, yeah, you know what, it's Amex, Citi, then Chase. It's always been Amex, Chase. In my mind, I like Chase better. So Chase, Amex, Citi. Citi's always been third. Now I think they really crippled their cards now by doing this. I think they're I don't know. I don't know. Like I don't want to say they're done because I think ultimately they're gonna figure something out and realize that people are in an uproar right now. Like especially people who have Citi cards. You're not showing any confidence in your travel portion of your cards by gutting the travel benefits. So I think a lot of people will give some pushback, and I think you might be in a situation where we see Citi make some changes with at least a Citi Prestige card and give that travel insurance back because I think it's something that needs to happen. So we'll see. We can only wait and see. All right, guys. Any other questions or anything like that? If not, I really appreciate all the participation. I appreciate everybody stopping by. I am going to go over exactly, so like I said, in the next 30 days, I'll be putting out a video a day, okay? And please, please stop by, watch the video, and like the video, and comment if you can. Just put any comment in there. Just say hello. What's up? What's up, David? Say something. And I really want to start promoting the channel more. I want to get it out there to all the people who are interested in learning more about travel credit cards. So that's the reason why I'm doing this, 30 videos in 30 days. And if it's working, if I'm really, if I really get a real good response, then I will continue to do videos. I'll be like Casey Neistat, where I'll just do daily videos. So that is the goal, all right? So I will be doing 30 videos in 30 days. I really want to get the best response that I can, because the way YouTube works, and I'm still learning this whole YouTube thing, but the way YouTube works is the more videos that you put out, the more they're going to promote you if the videos are doing well. So if I put a video out, people watch the video, people like the video, people comment on the video, YouTube's going to say, oh, okay, they like this content. And they're going to push it out to more people who are like-minded, more people who are coming from a similar profile that you come from. So if you watch credit card videos and they know that, or if you watch travel videos and they know that, well, then that's who they're promoting it out to, more people like that. And so the more videos that I put out in a short amount of time, they're going to keep promoting videos. And they'll promote, when I put a video out, they usually will promote it for a couple of days, like 48 hours generally. When I say that, I mean they'll give impressions. So they will say, hey, you might like this video. So when you open up your profile, when you go onto YouTube and you open up your little profile and you see all the different videos that have been suggested to you, it'll be one of those videos. And usually they'll promote it for about 48 hours. If it does well, it takes off, then they'll keep promoting it. If it doesn't do well and there's not a lot of likes, there's not a lot of comments or anything like that, and not too many people are clicking on the video to watch it, then they'll kind of they'll put it on the shelf. They won't promote it anymore. And if it does okay on its own, then it's fine. But they're not promoting it. They're not showing it to more people. But the videos that they show to more people are the videos that get the comments and get the likes, okay, and get the comments. Or I said that twice. I've been on here for a while. It's been 3 hours. So yeah, the videos that get the comments and the likes, those are the ones that they promote more. So just keep that in mind when you guys are watching the videos. And if you guys have ideas for videos, feel free to put it in the comments section. You watch a video and say, hey, I have a good idea. And I have that all the time, where people have an idea for another video. Or they see one of the videos I do, they say, hey, can you do this video? Or can you do this card, or do a video like this on this card instead of the card that I did? That kind of stuff. So if you have suggestions and stuff like that, put it in the comment section of the video after you watch it, and that'll help me out as well. All right, guys, so that is all for today. I have a new outro, so I'm going to put my little outro thing on here. Actually, I'm going to go through, since it's the very end of the video, I have a couple of different things. So I have a starting stream. So I'm going to start doing this prior to my videos being played. And obviously you're not going to hear me talking. You're just going to hear the music, and then I'll mute out the talking. So you guys can write things on there. You guys can chat back and forth. Before we get going, you guys can be chatting back and forth. So we're going to do that. And then let me switch over to Be Right Back. So I have an issue, and I've had this happen to me before, where I had technical difficulties, or I get a phone call, and there's a phone call that I have to take. It's from work or something like that. Then I'll have We'll Be Right Back. So I'll have that going. I'll keep the browser open, so the chat browser, so you guys can see the chat going on, so you guys can continue your conversations. And then I will have a thanks for watching. So I'll have thanks for watching. Please subscribe. And then that's where I'll have that outro there, the same music, and then have a couple of videos if you guys want to watch those videos next. And then if there's conversations going on, I've had this happen to me before. Let me come back to my screen. I feel weird talking. You don't see me. If there are conversations that are going on at the time, so let's say people are chatting back and forth, and it's come to the end of the video, and I want to leave the video. From now on, if there's a chat going, then I'm going to go to the thanks for watching, but I'm going to have the chat box, which let's see if it opens up. Yeah, okay, so then I'll have the chat box, and I'll leave that open for another 10 minutes or so you guys can finish your conversations. There might be some, because I've been in situations where there's some valuable stuff going on, like valuable information that's being put out there, and then when I cut the live stream, it's gone. so I can at least leave the live stream on for a few more minutes so you guys can finish your conversation, your tips and stuff like that. And then ideally I could still go in the other room and still be able to chat with you guys too if you guys have a question or something like that. But just in this format. So I've ended the live stream, but it's still going, if that makes sense. All right, guys. So like I said, please check out the videos that I put out. Just view the videos and share it with your friends too. Share it with your friends and family members, or anyone that you think is interested in watching the videos, because I really want to promote the channel. I really want to get it to a point where we have a lot of people that are on board with the travel credit cards. I just think getting it out to more people is better, because it's an amazing, I'm telling you, travel credit cards are an amazing thing to consider. But you need to do it responsibly. And if you cannot handle credit cards, that's okay. Don't get them. If you can't handle credit cards and you already know this, you already had a history where you haven't been able to manage credit cards, that's fine. Don't get them. You don't have to have credit cards in order to play the whole travel credit, I won't say travel credit card, travel rewards game. You don't have to have credit cards. That's why they call it travel rewards, because you can join these different rewards programs. So I can get in the Hyatt program. I can go with the United of different airline programs and stuff like that. Some of us have jobs that will you can purchase your airfare. Like they say you have to book airfare for work and stuff like that. Travel expenses. You can be reimbursed by your company to travel. So some people travel a lot. You can just get the frequent flyer programs. You don't need the credit cards, because now you're not even paying for your airfare. You're booking it, but you're using your frequent flyer number, you're using your hotel number. You're getting elite status with these different hotels. You're earning points at the same time, and you can use those points. You can redeem those points. You don't have to get credit cards, because you can get bank accounts. Some bank accounts will give you points. So you can, like when you open up a checking account, stuff like that, you can get points that way as well. So there are different ways to do it without getting a credit card. I think the easiest way to do it is to get a credit card, but you have to be able to use them responsibly, because if you don't use them responsibly, then you're just wasting those points away. There's no reason to get a credit card in that sense, a travel credit card, because you're getting 50,000 points, but you're paying interest on this card every month, and so you're just throwing those points down the drain. All right, guys, I am getting ready to get out of here. Thanks again, like I said, for stopping by. We'll be on tomorrow. Stop by tomorrow. Afro Guajira Maya, she will be on straight from Colombia. She'll be talking about travel to Colombia. And she's got a wonderful site. Like, her site is really good. Her channel, Afro Guajira. You guys will get more information tomorrow, but she's got a channel out there about Colombia, and she's got one of the best channels that I've seen when it comes to giving you information about the country. And she lives in Bogota. Bogota is the capital of Colombia, so she can give you a lot of it's a very informative channel when it comes to Colombia. So, and she speaks English, which is very rare. So you don't have a lot of Colombian YouTubers that speak English and that tell you about Colombia. Usually there's Colombian YouTubers out there, but they're speaking in Spanish. So for us people who don't speak fluent Spanish, that becomes a problem. But she's fluent in English. All right, guys, I am out of here. Please, on the way out, please hit the like button. And hopefully we got up to 30 likes. I like to try to at least get 30 likes a video. So if we're there, then I know we're in the right place. Yeah, share it with your friends, like the video, comment below, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.